Good evening and a very warm welcome to the National Speedway Stadium here in Manchester. Tonight we have a top of the table clash as the Belle Vue Aces take on the Ipswich Witches. As always, we're joined by the guys, Mr. Tatum, Mr. Nichols. Two good sides tonight, Calv, both with Grand Prix stars, but one Grand Prix star in particular we've got to talk about, Brady Kurtz. What a weekend. What a weekend. And a hat-trick of Grand Prix wins. You know, it's incredible, isn't it? Hadn't won one before this season, rookie season, and then it just reeled off some fabulous performances. And this was pretty special because when you consider he had to go through the LCQ, it could have been very different because Smartlick had gone straight to the final. He showed fabulous composure at the back end of the meeting. And 3 points in it. It's up for grabs, isn't it now? 3 points in it, and we go to his home track of Wrocław next.
Yeah, so, you know, does that put a little bit more pressure on him? He certainly shows that he can deal with the pressure, but yeah. You know, he's been exceptionally good there, but Smartlick is good there too. It's a fantastic racetrack, so it's going to really set the end of that season up very nicely. Really exciting stuff. Let's turn our attention then back to the Premiership and towards the playoffs. Now, we've had a little blip in terms of Sheffield. They've lost to an informed Leicester, so a little bit of a change at the Premiership standings. What impact does that have on Sheffield, Calv?
Well, they made changes straight away. They made changes because Woofenden was out with the injuries, and then Sedgman and Kerr have now been replaced by Morris and Etheridge. Morris is an interesting case because he's been out of the sport for 2 years. They'll be keeping their fingers crossed he can come back and reproduce the form that we've seen him previously. And Etheridge, unfortunately, Jai has got injured. So, but let's hope that he's around next week when we go there. But clearly they're looking, you know, Leicester are a team in form. Yeah. And it's just Damien Bates and Simon Stead have decided to make it. Well, they had to because the deadline was right there, wasn't it?
And it's ability to choose your destiny for the playoffs. That's really what's been at stake. But like Calv said, big changes, Scotty, and you know, like for Nick Morris, not having that time on the bike, you've come back in and said really honestly how nervous you were. Big pressure on Nick. It is huge pressure, you know. There's an awful lot of expectation. He knows what's at stake. I mean, it is really quite a terrifying situation for him. But I think, you know, with Nick coming in, and like just touched on there with Leicester, I think really the focus is actually on them now. Like last year, they potentially could have been the spoilers, but they just kind of went a little bit off form at the end. Right now, they're kind of hitting that form again, and I think these guys are going to be looking out for them. Yeah. Two good teams tonight, as we said, though, Calv. Great meeting in prospect.
Yes, top of the table clash between the Witches and the Aces this evening. Ipswich had a few ups and downs, and so have the Aces, actually, but they have been rock solid, and last time they met here, the Aces had the upper hand. So in some ways, this could be a dress rehearsal for the final. There's a long way to go, but it could be. But Ipswich would like to keep it very tight tonight. Yeah, well, let's have a look at the standings then. It is the top of the table between these two teams. They lead the way, equal on points, 31 points apiece. But Ipswich Witches do have a meeting in hand. This is what we mentioned about Leicester. So Leicester have now gone above Sheffield Tigers. Leicester in third with 27, Sheffield Tigers fourth with 26. Now Kings Lynn Stars desperately trying to make a late charge to get into the playoffs at the bottom of the table, Oxford Spires and Birmingham Brummies. So these two teams tonight, some real talent right through 1 to 7. You're men to watch in the two teams. Start with the visitors. Yes, well, the Ipswich Witches are full with lots of talent, I must say, and there's no doubt that the one that's caught my eye is number 4, Tom Brennan. He has experience of Belle Vue Aces. Doyle leads the way, smashing rider. Danny King, of course, is plenty of experience. Adam Ellis, another former British champion. Emil Saifutanov, been smashing having him in Britain. He's ridden so well. Dan Thompson is somebody very important to the Ipswich Witches at number 6. And then Jason Edwards is a relatively new signing. But I think Tom Brennan has hit some form very recently. It's been a little bit up and down for the Ipswich Witches. He knows this track well. He rode here recently, rode for the Aces recently. So I'd like to think that he'll go well tonight. Yeah, he'll want to put on a good showing. But the Belle Vue Aces, they are strong at home. They are indeed. And when you've got riders like Kurtz and Bewley in your side, they are genuine world-class riders. And Kurtz, of course, is just fabulous at the moment. Norick Bladorn rode well, and he's had a couple of weeks off, Norick, and he says that he is full and raring to go these days. Jamin Lidsley, unfortunately, got injured at the weekend, so he's not here, so they'll have rider replacement for him. And Zach Cook is my man to watch for the Aces tonight. Bewley, as I said, what a rider. Tate Ziski. and Jake Mulford down at reserve. They will need to go well tonight, but Zach Cook, a signing for 25, started slowly, but has certainly improved in the last few weeks.
How do you see the meeting going?
I fancy the home team. I do. I sense their form at home is rock solid. The Ipswich Witches, this is kind of a free hit.
Yeah.
You know, I think that they will need to be relaxed and give it all. They have the quality, and they'll want to keep it tight.
Calvin, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Enjoy your evening. Right, it's a highlight of the night. It is the coin toss. What's Scotty got up his sleeve this time?
Thanks, Abby. It is indeed my favourite part of the show, where I'm joined by the two captains. I'll come to the home captain first, Brady Kurtz. Brady, the Belle Vue Aces have secured their spot in the playoffs. So there's not so much to play for tonight, but I guess I spoke to Mark Lemon earlier. Going for that first or second spot is ultimately the important goal.
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously nice to know that we are in the playoffs, but definitely don't want to let your foot off the gas yet. We want to go in there with as much momentum as we can, and yeah, it'll be a nice one to get a win today. Ipswich are always tough competitors around here, probably the best team that we come up against every year, and yeah, tonight will be no different.
Like you say, it's about keeping that momentum going, keeping everybody fired up, because that playoffs is literally just around the corner.
Yeah, for sure. We've had quite a good run recently, and yeah, we've always been solid at home all year. So definitely looking to really get a win today, and yeah, look forward to the playoffs.
Okay, thank you, Danny. Again, you're safe in the playoffs, but we know Belle Vue is an exceptionally hard place to come to. You could well be facing these guys in the playoffs or ultimately the final. Could there be a place where you boys possibly roll the dice on setups and everything else just to try and get dialed in if that is the case?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always a difficult place to come to. These guys are so dialed in around here, and we've had a mixture of meetings here. We've had a win here, and then we got beat quite heavily. So it's important that we try and get the setup dialed in, because, as you say, we may meet in the playoffs.
Okay, well, we are going to go and do the coin toss. I'm going to change it because I've been absolutely disastrous. So we're going to do rock, paper, scissors. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay? Right. So there you go. Rock, paper, scissors. Off you go.
1, 2, 3.
Ah, there you go. He's fired. So the option is to the Belle Vue Aces. There you go. All guns blazing. What's it going to be?
We'll have 1 and 3 in Heat 1, please.
Okay, thank you. Back to you, Abby.
Scotty, you're getting so creative. Okay, we've got more Speedway going on around the country. We're also at the Adrian Flux Arena tonight as the Kingsland Stars host the Inform Leicester Lions. Here's Dave Rowe with the team news.
Well, these two sides know each other very well. They met last week in the Knockout Cup final. And after drawing the first leg here, it was Leicester who raced to an emphatic victory on their own track to clinch their first ever item of major top flight team silverware. In the league, the Lions have been also moving along nicely, and their win at Sheffield 10 days ago took them above the Tigers and into third place. They're looking good once again. For Kings in the playoffs now, a long shot, 12 points behind Sheffield with 8 matches to go. A win tonight certainly required, but they'll find it tough to get the aggregate point after a 16-point defeat at Leicester in the reverse fixture. This is one of 5 remaining home fixtures. Kings Lynn's top 6 reshuffles with Jan Kvek now at number 1, and captain Nikolai Clint moves up from reserve. That has been a big source of points, but it could be a concern now with Ben Cook still absent. Tobias Thompson of Poole comes into guest alongside youngster Luke Harrison, who will now stay in the team for the remainder of the season. The Lions go back to using a rider replacement for the injured Luke Becker, but their other top riders have all been in tremendous form. Skipper Max Frick with the highest average in the league, and great support coming from Ryan Douglas and Sam Masters. Here at the Adrian Flux Arena, it's Kings Lynn against Leicester.
Dave, thank you. Well, there's a good crowd in here tonight. It is a clash of titans. It is the two top teams in the league. Weather conditions, it is very, very windy. Let's meet tonight's teams then. Joining Kelvin in comms tonight is Ollie Allen.
Stadium, Manchester, and to the British Speedway. ROWE Motor Oil Premiership with Premiership partners Powermax, Cabin Master, Roger Watts Transport, Steel Seal, Teng Tools, Arctic Cabins, The Awning Company, and Media Co Group. Now, please welcome the teams: the Belle Vue ATPI Aces and the True 7 Group Ipswich Witches.
Let's go then. Yes, it's been an age since we've been at the National Speedway Stadium, so kudos to the back at home. The Ipswich Witches first on the track
Calv, Ollie, thank you both very much. The hashtag this evening, it is Bellips. Any questions you've got for Scotty? We can't even talk about the coin toss because there wasn't one. It was paper, scissors, rock. It could have gone horribly wrong. It didn't. It went smooth sailing. But any other questions you've got, Scotty, use that hashtag Bellips and I'll get those to him at the end of the show. When we come back, we'll be on with the action here at the National Speedway Stadium. We're joined by Brady Kurtz, and we've got to speak, Brady, about that awesome victory in Latvia, third on the belts in the Grand Prix. And we'll start right on the gate selection. You had last gate choice. What was it like knowing that you were going up to gate 2?
Sometimes I think it's better actually not having to choose. I think just got given 2 and that's what it was. But I was actually quite happy with it. I had gate 2 in my last heat and made a good start, so I wasn't really too disappointed. I probably would have chose one of the inside gates if I had picked first anyway. So yeah, we made it work.
You absolutely made it work, Brady, and it's your starts this season have just been on fire. The reaction here, Brady, was just lightning speed.
Yeah, like I said, I was happy with gate 2, and I was actually only worried about Freddie. I knew if I could get across him, I was going to put myself in a good position. And yeah, once I hit the front, there's not too much passing that goes on at Riga, so I thought I was pretty safe from that point on. And yeah, tried to not worry about what was happening behind me, and yeah, hung on for the win.
At that point, Brady, are you thinking? I mean, you mentioned not being concerned about what's going on behind you, but are you thinking about where Schmarzlik is finishing?
No, I actually thought it was Bartek behind me the whole time. I didn't even consider it being it. I didn't look, but I didn't even consider it being anyone else. I just assumed it was going to be him, and I was glad it was Freddie, actually.
It is amazing for the championship, and we spoke in front of the podium. You were like, this is ridiculous to have 3 in a row, but to go to your home track in Wroclaw and know that this title fight now is only separated by just 3 points.
Yeah, it's going to be nice going to Wroclaw. What kind of feels like when we came to Belle Vue, something I'm going to be comfortable with, and a track I really love racing on. So yeah, I'll try and, as I say every time, I'll try and just keep doing what I've been doing, and yeah, I'm trying not to worry about it too much. So back to the day job today, and yeah, hopefully a few more good results before we go to Wroclaw.
Yeah. The momentum though, Brady, is on your side.
Yes, always nice. I think Riga was a bit of a weird one. I felt like it was so long since we rode the last time, and it didn't really feel like I'd won the last GP. So yeah, we started slow and managed to get the win on a tough night. So definitely super happy with it.
We are all behind you. Obviously impartial, but all behind you.
Thank you very much. I've had a lot of support, so it's been nice.
Thanks, Brady. Welcome back to the National Speedway Stadium, to Manchester. Big crowd in tonight. It should be a great contest. It is between the Belle Vue Aces and Ipswich Witches, and Heat 1 is coming up. And your commentators tonight, Ollie Allen first, Calvin Tatum.
Thank you very much, Abby. Here we go then for the first race of the evening. Should be quite a contest, this. Belle Vue Aces had the better of the Ipswich Witches last time around in the league, earlier on in the season in the Knockout Cup. There's no doubt that the Ipswich Witches had turned up and had the upper hand against the Belle Vue Aces here in the National Speedway Stadium. But just a little bit of information for you. The Ipswich Witches have never beaten the Belle Vue Aces here in the league. Will there be a change this evening? Gates 1 and 3 for the home team in the opening race. Mark Lemon the team manager for the ATPI Aces, here in attendance. He's had a remarkable run of success with the Aces. They are the champions, and they are looking to repeat and hang on to the title in 2025. The playoffs are not too far away. Brady Kurtz just making his way to the start. Line for heat number 1, Bledorn, the German. He goes from the inside in the blue helmet colour. Danny King coming out of gate number 2 in yellow. Brady Kurtz will start from gate number 3 in red. And Jason Doyle in the white helmet colour from the outside in the opening race of the evening. 2 Australians on the outside, world-class performers.
Yeah, battle of the big guns here in heat 1's off gate 3 and 4. Be interesting to see who gets the upper hand in the first heat.
Yeah, Jason Doyle will be keen to get away, but gates 1 and 3, they won the coin toss. Not quite sure what went on with the coin toss, but they did. Zach Cook keenly looking on for the first race of the evening. It's been a lot of rain here earlier today. It's been a glorious afternoon, but there has been high winds as well. We're racing. They roar into the first turn. What a start from Danny King. Absolutely jet propelled out of gate number 2. Here comes Doyle. How about this for the Ipswich Witches on the opening lap of the very first race? Got to say it's quite a surprise. Brady Kirk back in 3rd place, but Danny King and Jason Doyle leading the way.
Yeah, excellent start there from the Ipswich boys. Danny King, excellent away. Jason Doyle wins the battle of the big guns into the first turn, and at the moment you'd have to say the Ipswich boys have settled on a 5-1.
Kurtz coming on strong in 3rd place, but King is holding firm in front. A lap and a half to go. Doyle there up the inside as well. This will be quite some result for heat number 1 if it remains this way, when you consider they came off gates 2 and 4. Kurtz hasn't been able to do anything about it. And King and Doyle, the visitors, start with a massive 5-1 in heat number 1. That was a bit of a turn-up, I must say. Gates 1 and 3 for the home team. You would have thought that they would have got the better of the opposition. But Danny King, that was really rolled back the years there. I mean, that was a cracking ride from Danny King in heat number 1. And Doyle made a great move in that first corner to join his teammates down the back straight. Danny King out in front, 3 points for him. Jason Doyle back in 2nd place, 2 points. Brady Kurtz back in 3rd, 1 point, and Nora Bledorn failing to score in the opening race of the evening. A 5-1 to the Witches. What a start to the night for them.
Yeah, excellent start from Danny King on gate 2. He makes a brilliant jump, controls the first bend, and the big battle there was on the outside between Jason Doyle and Brady Kurtz. And Doyle, if you watch Doyle in the white helmet colour, he gets across Brady and joins his teammate at the front. And in heat 1, quite often here at Belle Vue, it's a race to that inside line, and if you can keep a tight line and your speed is good, then you can hold on to that win. And here we see Danny King again looking great out in front. If anything, he's probably slowing his teammate up a little bit. Doyle was wishing him to go a little bit faster, but what a start for the Ipswich Witches.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Hawkins, the Ipswich Witches team manager, delighted with the way they've started this evening. And as I say, with gates 2 and 4, that was a bit of a turn up for the books. I was explaining that they did have a lot of rain here this morning. It stopped about midday, and then the sun has been out. It's very, very windy, but in truth, that's done the track quite a lot of good, and conditions look really good. Your thoughts on the track?
Yeah, they do. I had a little look at it earlier, and like you say, that the track is in excellent condition. Quite often, if you get rain on a track, it's better. Sort of natural watering is better than sort of the tractor as normal, and the track here looks very good. If anything, they might need to water it later.
Remarkable when you consider how much rain they had earlier today. Heat number 2 riders are out on track. Jason Edwards, who was in fine form last week for the Witches, a recent signing for them, just having the rear chain adjusted. Dan Thompson, an important rider. He broke his skate forward and they had some time out. Hasn't quite hit the heights on his return, but there's no question, as they move toward the playoffs, the Witches, Kevin Hawkins will be looking to this man to pick up some very important points. There's Mark Lemon, the team manager, been there, seen it all, got the T-shirt. Line up for the heat number 2. Dan Thompson on the inside in the white helmet colour. Tate Zisk out of gate 2 in red. Jason Edwards, gate 3 in yellow. And Jake Mulford off the outside in the blue helmet colour. Big race in prospect. Dan Bewley looking on. 5-1 in the first race. Can the Aces bounce back here in heat number 2? Ziski has improved, had his injury problems, of course, at the end of last year. And once or twice he's found points hard to come by in the Premiership. But I had noticed recently that has got somewhat better. Here we go then. Second time of asking. Green lights on. Lights are up. And he roars towards the first corner. Dan Thompson makes a smashing start. He fires himself to the front. And I'll tell you what, Jason Edwards has joined him. And it is really a fabulous start for the Ipswich Witches. Thompson out in front, Jason Edwards following him through. Tate Ziski, they're back in third place with Mulford at the back. But how about this, Solly? This is terrific stuff from the Ipswich Witches.
Yeah, another turn up for the books here. Great start from the Ipswich boys from gates 1 and 3 this time. Got Dan Thompson out in front. Jason Edwards in second place. He's under a little bit of pressure from Ziski, but at the moment, you have to say the Ipswich boys were comfortable in front.
Do indeed. I can actually smell in the air somebody's clutch is burning quite badly. But the lap to go, looking like it could well be 2 consecutive 5-1s for the visitors. And there's no doubt they have really started like a house on fire. Ziski has tried everything, but he's not going to be able to force his way into the bigger points. What a start for the Witches! How about that? Gates 2 and 4 in the first race, no problem. 1 and 3 in the second race, and they have delivered. And they already, at this very early stage, have an 8-point lead. That is quite remarkable. And their team manager is not Kevin Hawkins, it is Richie Hawkins, as I was reminded. But Richie Hawkins will be absolutely delighted with the way the team has started this evening. Dan Thompson, 3 points for him out in front. Jason Edwards back in second place, 2 points. Tate Ziski, 1 point in third, and Jake Mulford fails to score in heat number 2. And we won't see the replays, but we're going to go straight to Scott Nichols.
Yeah, thanks, Kel. I'm with Ipswich captain Danny King. Danny, dream start, 2 5-1s.
Yeah, it's a good start. Yeah, I don't know. We've been talking a lot about setups and things, and it seems like we've managed to crack it early on, but we need to just keep that momentum going because we know how strong these guys are.
I reckon it must have been a rock, paper, scissors, personally.
I didn't like that.
No, it's a great start to me. Obviously, a long way to go yet, but just try and keep that momentum going.
Exactly that. We wanted to have a fast start, and we have. So let's try and get that momentum going, and hopefully we'll be there at the end.
Cool, thanks, mate. I'll let you get back to it. Back to you, Kelvin Ollie, and yeah, Kevin's not here, mate, but Richie is.
Thank you very much for reminding me. That's the second time I've been reminded of that. And Richie, of course, has been a part of the Ipswich 2-7 Group Witches for some considerable time. We do have rider replacement for the Witches here in heat number 3. I'll bring you that information as soon as I can. It does appear to be, might well be, that so Jake Mulford, that's Tate Ziski, whether he's going to have 2 on the spin. So there will be a slight delay. So Jamie Litzy is injured. He got injured yesterday in Poland. He's not here. We have rider replacement. It does appear that Tate Ziski, who was in heat number 2, is now going to come out in heat 3. So therefore, the referee, Chris Gay, will just give Tate Ziski a little more time. There he was. Finished third in heat number 2. So Tate Ziski is the one that's going to come in as rider replacement here in heat number 3 for Jamin Litzy. He is now making his way out for his second consecutive ride. So I'm not quite sure why we're pausing. But Phil Morris was in attendance, Mark Lemon. Seems to be no real panic, but I'm not quite sure why he has delayed. I'm looking down onto the centre green. The 2 minutes is on now, so it is just beginning to click down, and he is now going to make his way, as the other 3 riders will. So fabulous start for the visitors here so far. Zach Cook with Tate Ziski coming in here in heat number 3. Ellison Brennan, I mean, on paper, the Witches look good here.
They do. Very strong middle order for the Ipswich Witches, and when you look at their lineup compared to others, that's where they look particularly strong. So they'll fancy their chances here, especially with Ziski coming in.
Indeed, Mark Lemon just making that change for the heat number 3, and riders approaching the tapes after a slight delay. Line-up for heat number 3, we have Zach Cook on the inside in the blue helmet colour, Adam Ellis gate number 2 in white, Tate Ziski coming in as the rider replacement, gate number 3 in red, and Tom Brennan will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour, and he's parked and he's elected to go right next to gate number 3, hoping for a nice run into the first corner. Tom Brennan, of course, who rode here 2 seasons ago. He does know the track well. Didn't have a British final that he would look back on particularly fondly. He was one of the favourites for the evening, but it didn't happen. He had a couple of guest bookings. I know he guested for Leicester very recently and rode really well. Our own Scott Nichols was there that night and confirmed to me that he did look really good. And he'll be...
She could have been the spoilers, but they just kind of went a little bit off form at the end. Right.
Fast start here tonight in the National Speedway Stadium. Riders just taking their time. I don't quite know what's happened to the 2-minute clock. It appears to have gone off, but Ron Shaw, our star marshal, looks like he's pretty happy. He moves away. Green light comes on. Oh, movement from Cook on the inside. Does look that Brennan's made a lovely start. Red lights have come on. And there was movement from Cook on the inside, gate number 1, certainly. Brennan will be...
He'll be gutted. He will be gutted.
Yeah, he will be, because that was a fabulous start from gate 4.
Yeah, never easy to make it across from gate 4 so early on, and he will be very disappointed. You see the replay, yeah. If you see Zach Cook on the inside there, a little bit of movement. Watch him in the blue helmet here. He does have a little nibble before the tapes go. Not easy when it's windy, though, is it? When the tapes are blowing like that,
no,
it can put you off as a rider a little bit, I think.
That's fair. I'll take that, but Zach Cook now receives the traditional warning. As a consequence, if he moves again, he'll be excluded. Our referee this evening is Chris Gay. He saw it, we all saw it, and in modern-day Speedway, they are the rules. So we do have a slight delay, although Tom Brennan has elected to just do as much gardening as he possibly can. The 2 minutes is on. We've got just about a minute and a half for the other 3 riders to make their way round for the second time of asking for heat number 3. Didn't see this start coming, I must say. I expected it to be close. I actually predicted that the home team would win narrowly tonight, but by golly, that is an impressive start for the Ipswich Witches. Tate Ziski just still not on his way. There's just over a minute to go. Is he getting another pair of goggles? Does appear that there's 1 or 2 tear-offs just being put onto his goggles. If he was really confident, he wouldn't worry about tear-offs.
Wouldn't need him, would he?
No,
Wouldn't need him.
He wouldn't. He'd be out in front.
Don't worry about the goggles.
There we go. There we go indeed. Still needs to crack on here. It's just 45 seconds now. So Tate making the shortcut to the start line. So Ron Shaw just lifting up the tapes to allow him under. So here we go then. Line up for the restart of heat number 3. Cook on the inside in the blue helmet colour. Ellis in gate number 2 in white. Ziski gate 3 in red, and Tom Brennan will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Brennan made a lovely start first time, but Cook moved. Red light came on. He was gutted. So Ollie said he was gutted. He must have known. He's had a chat with him. He's had a chat with him. Here we go then. Can he do it again? Or will Cook behave himself this time and be disciplined and hit the front? We're away. Brennan's done it again. He's there. Swipes across the air position. Fires himself to the front. Textbook start from Tom Brennan in the yellow helmet colour out of gate number 4. Coming in second place, we've got Tate Ziski, the rider replacement. Cook has forced his way up the inside of the opposition. Adam Ellis is now relegated to 4th place, but not for long. Coming up the inside of Tate Ziski, but Zach Cook coming on strong in 2nd place.
Yeah, Zach Cook looking very fast in 2nd place behind Tom Brennan. It was Tom Brennan who again made an electric start from gate 4 to lead the race. Zach Cook putting him under all sorts of pressure. He now moves up to mid-track. He's moving around the outside of Tom. Tom's got that move covered. Great race out in front between these two.
Special race here in development. Brennan looking over his shoulder, slams the door shut down the back straight at heat number 3. Cook winding it on, roaring round the outside. Brennan comes across the front of him and just about hangs on. Oh, he had to put out all the stops on the last lap, Brennan. Cook has come from nowhere. And once again, the National Speedway Stadium producing some special speedway. And even at this early stage, I must say that was mightily impressive. And those two riders out in front really did put on a fine display of top-class Premiership speedway. Brilliant result for you. Tom Brennan out in front, 3 points. Zach Cook back in second place, 2 points for him. 1 for Adam Ellis in third, and Tate Ziski, the rider replacement, misses out in heat number 3. What a race, Ollie. This is, well, I'm looking forward to seeing it again.
Yeah, here we see Tom Brennan in the yellow helmet from gate 4, makes an electric start. He gets all the way across to the inside. And at this point, you look at Adam Ellis, he creeps around the outside of Zach Cook to get into third place. Zach Cook keeps it wound on the inside. He creeps back up the inside of Ellis and his teammate to get up into second. And if you look at him here, he's quite a way back from Tom Brennan, but as the race goes on, he reels him in. And there we see Ellis pushes back from last into third place. He goes up the inside of Ziski down the back straight, takes third place. And here's Cook, he moves up onto the outside of Tom Brennan. Tom Brennan has a sneaky peek over his right shoulder and slams the door shut on the back straight. And then again on the final corner, he knows he's there. Tom has a little look, moves across the front of him to stop that move, but Cook certainly looked very quick. Yeah, Cook had a little more speed than Tom Brennan. Brennan having to ride defensively on the last lap, but a 10-point lead. It's still at a 4-2 to the Ipswich Riches, so they've had 3 heat advantages in the first 3 races. Remarkable start to the evening for the Ipswich Riches. They really have hit the ground running, and I suspect that the Belle Vue Aces are a little bit in shock at this stage of the evening. Heat number 4. We've got Saifutanov and Bewley here, 2 big names in Speedway. Bewley not quite having the weekend he would have liked in Riga. Freddie Lindgren coming through and has stretched and sort of pulled away in third place in the championship, but Dan, he will be looking forward to the next round, of course, at his home track in Wrocław. Emil Saifutanov, he is out there this evening, has had a terrific run of form since he joined the Ipswich Riches, and he is certainly a rider that can never be underestimated. And I'm looking forward to these 2 riders going head-to-head. 2 genuine world-class riders, really eye-catching riders as well. Yeah, they really are 2 of the world's very best speedway riders. Both of them can be really fast on their day. Excellent motorcycle riders, and yeah, they never know when the race is over, so looking forward to it. Indeed they are. As I say, I repeat, 4 points to the Belle Vue Aces, 14 to the Ipswich Riches. It's a fabulous start for the team that is at top of the table as we come into tonight's clash. Just about 30 seconds left for Dan Bewley to make his way to the tapes. He will arrive in time. So the lineup for heat number 4, Jake Mulford's on the inside in the blue helmet colour, Jason Edwards gate number 2 in yellow, Dan Bewley gate number 3 in red, and Emil Saifutanov starts the evening in the white helmet colour from gate number 4. 2 big riders on the outside. Dan Thompson was pretty handy in his first ride, but I say he'll be looking to good. But here we go then. Jason Edwards has made a lovely start. Emil Saifutanov has roared round the outside. Got to say, this is once again dynamite stuff from the Ipswich Witches. They really are red hot away from the tapes. Here comes Bewley. Bewley now beginning to surge his way through up the inside. Yes, he just about gets the better of Edwards. Had to work for it, but Emil Saifutanov in front now is being chased, and chased hard by Dan Bewley. Yeah, what a start from Emil from gate 4. He leads the race. You can see now that the track's developing, the riders are moving a little bit wider. Emil's using that outside line, and at the moment, Dan Bewley, he can't catch him. Emil Saifutanov, poetry in motion out in front. Dan Bewley's giving it his best, but both of those 2 riders are absolutely wheel perfect.
but Bewley can't quite gain an inch. There was Edwards back in third place. It's going to be another 4-2. Another heat advantage to the Witches. Wow, they've got a 12-point lead. Can you believe it? At the conclusion of heat number 4, the Witches have just absolutely taken off here this evening like rockets, and Emil Saifutinov rode an impeccable race there. Bewley had to work hard to get through into second place, but wow, Saifutinov was fast in front. 3 points for Saifutinov in heat number 4. Dan Bewley back in second place, 2 points. Jason Edwards with the fast starting Jason Edwards, 1 point for him in third, and Jake Mulford misses out there in heat number 4. 18 points to 6 after 4 races. Remarkable start.
Yeah, excellent start here again from the Ipswich Witches. Jason Edwards makes a start from the inside. Emil joins him, and from then on, Emil just stretches his lead. He has a little look over his shoulder there, checks it's his teammate, so he can let the bike run high into that deeper dirt on the outside. Emil looked really quick out in front. Dan Bewley, here you see, dives up the inside of Jason Edwards, just muscles his way through into second place, and I don't think Dan Bewley will be used to having someone in front of him he can't catch. So, yeah, great ride there from Emil, and you have to say the Ipswich Witches look fantastic at the moment.
They do indeed, and Emil Saifutinov has started with a fine ride. Okay, Abby, you're down there.
I am down there, and I am just waiting behind Mark Lemon. He's with Steve, who is the clerk of the course. They're in a deep conversation. A bit of a shock, I imagine. Ipswich Witches have got off to an absolute flying start. Belle Vue Aces trying to really ramp up some support, the home crowd, and it's a healthy crowd in here tonight. Probably also a little bit surprised about what we've seen. Okay, they're really discussing the programme. They have got rider replacement tonight for Jamin Lidsey. Let me see if I can just rudely interrupt. Mr. Lemon. Steve, can you ask Mark if I can have a word? Oh gosh, he really is concentrating hard, and Mark always gives interviews, so let's wait a moment. Lemo, quick word. Mark, a little bit of a surprise.
Quick word? More than a few quick words.
Mark, this is a slight turn up for books. You beat them convincingly by 12 points early on in the season, but Ipswich have just come out of the blocks and they're flying.
Yeah, they have. I mean, we looked at track conditions. Obviously, we took a lot of rain today here on the track, well, actually over the weekend, and probably thought it was a bit grippier than it is. So maybe it caught us out a little bit, but Gate 4 has obviously been producing a lot better than what we expected, and Gate 3 has. So no excuses, really. The Ipswich have just, like I said, hit the ground, off the blocks pretty good.
It was, you looked like you were in deep conversation. Was that looking at the scorecard and where you'll make certain rider replacements?
Yes.
Yes, I thought it might be, but you're not giving anything away at the moment.
No, I'm still contemplating, but what we do, how we pan it out. Normally don't really have to get too deep into those sort of decisions at home so early, but yeah, I just have to give this one some more thought.
Mark, thank you so much. Right, we will take a short break. Thank you, Mr. Lemon. Kept you waiting there. That hashtag tonight is Bellips. When we come back, we'll be Heat 5 and Belle Vue have got to come to the party here at the National Speedway Stadium.
What a start to the night for...
Welcome back to the National Speedway Stadium. All these fans are going to hope that Belle Vue can pick things up, because Ipswich Witches have got off to an absolute flying start. After 4 heats, it is Aces 6, Ipswich Witches 18. Right, let's head over to Kings Lynn and get the latest from Davo.
Well, unfortunately, no action yet at the Adrian Fox Arena because of the sun. They had rain earlier in the afternoon. That's cleared away. The track has been prepared well, but unfortunately we do have a delay of around half an hour to start time. We are about to get started with Heat 1 very shortly between Kings Lynn and Leicester. I can tell you elsewhere, in the other meeting tonight, Sheffield are set for a big win at Birmingham. They lead by 30 points to 12 after 7 heats already. That should be an away win, and we're about to get underway here at the Adrian Fox Arena for Kings Lynn against Leicester.
Dave, thank you. Well, there's more world-class cricket coming your way this week. Zimbabwe host New Zealand on day 1 of the second test of the series. That's on TNT Sports 2. And West Indies face off Trinidad and Tobago on Friday, and that's TNT Sports 1. But here in Manchester, let's resume with the action. It's Heat 5 and it's Calvin Ollie.
Thank you very much, Abby. Yes, what a start for the visitors. As you rightly say, a bit of a shock possibly going through the Belle Vue Aces team. We have rider replacement for the injured Jamin Lidsey here in heat number 5. Noit Bladorn coming in to replace him in heat number 5. And in truth, they really do need to bounce back quite quickly. 12 points behind at this early stage. They've got time, of course, but there's no question that Richie Hawkins will be absolutely delighted with the way things have worked out. Apologies to Richie, calling him Kevin on many occasions at the beginning of the evening, but Richie Hawkins is certainly will be satisfied with the way things have gone for the Ipswich Witches so far this evening. Line up for heat number 5. Danny King off the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Nora Bladorn, rider replacement, gate 2 in red. Gate 3 in white is Jason Doyle. Good ride first time. And Zach Cook was fast first time. He certainly pushed hard onto Tom Brennan. Goes from gate number 4 in the blue helmet colour. Cook needs to win this one for the Aces.
He really does. It's going to be tough from gate 4, but 4 has been good so far, so it'll be really interesting to see if Doyle can stop him getting across from that position. If Doyle can stop him, then you'd have to say the Ipswich Witches will be in the driving seat again.
It's a long way from gate 4, isn't it, Ollie? You do need to get the grip, because if you don't, it's difficult to get there. But we saw Saifutinov and Brennan do it. Yeah,
it's really key that you get across gate 3. If you can do that, you've got a bit of a run into the first bend.
We'll keep an eye on that. Zach Kirk, who very nearly got the better of Brennan, really came on strong late on in the race in heat number 3. He's up against Jason Doyle here, who had a terrific opening race with Danny King in heat number 1. And they come together again here in heat number 5. The Aces off gates 1 and 3. Excuse me, the Ipswich Witches off 1 and 3. The Aces off 2 and 4. Which way is it going to go? Green light comes on. We're racing. Away we go. And it's the Ipswich boys make a fabulous start. Doyle gets there. Here comes Kirk. What a move from Zach Kirk. Straight between the Ipswich Witches. Fabulous move. Now Doyle trying to drop back to the inside. Trying to get his wheels in line. But Zach Cook, stunning move in the first turn. Superb. The first time this evening that a Belle Vue Aces rider has got himself to the front. How about that?
Yeah, great start from the Ipswich boys again, but excellent first corner from Zach Cook to cut between the Ipswich boys and take the lead. Jason Doyle, though, putting Cook under all sorts of pressure in front. Doyle looks like he's got enough speed, but Cook at the moment just holding a steady line mid-track. Doyle looking to cut back. Can he make a last lap move?
To the last lap. Here comes Doyle, trying to run around the outside. Cook is holding firm down the final straight. What a move from Doyle. Doyle, stunning move at the end of the back straight on the final lap. We're now charged for the chicken back. Oh my goodness gracious me, that's close. I think Zach Cook may have just got back up to win. There's very little to choose between the two of them. The Australians putting on such a demonstration, and Cook, I just sense, has just about got there. Yep, just about. What a race that was once again. Stunning speedway here this evening in the National Speedway Stadium. Jason Doyle riding superbly well to get the better of Cook, but Cook just turning back up the inside. And with a terrific move to steal the win away from Jason Doyle, and will be the first Belle Vue races winner here this evening. Zach Cook, what a race that was. 3 points for him. Jason Doyle back in second place, 2 points. 1 point for Danny King in third, and Norit Bladorn, the rider replacement rider, failed to score. And heat number 5, a shared race, and what a race.
Yeah, if you watch, there's a little bit of movement there from Bladorn on the start line. Jason Doyle, though, makes the gate from gate 3. He's leading at this point. You see Zach Cook from the outside. He cuts back, dives through the middle of the Ipswich pair. And with the speed that Cook had in the first race, I thought he might be more comfortable in front. But Doyle doesn't give up, never does. Chases him down the whole race. Here we see Cook again from gate 4. He hasn't made the start. It's quite a wide entry into the first bend, and that allows him to cut back, straighten up across the first bend and close off Jason Doyle coming out. And then after that, really, it's all about those two in front. Jason Doyle here, you see on the outside of turns 1 and 2, he moves onto the outside of Cook. Really brave ride by him going into turn 3 to get across the front of Cook, and at this point I thought he had the race sewn up, but Cook cuts back, uses that inside line and just beats Doyle over the finish line. What a ride.
What a ride indeed. Fabulous stuff. Bladorn did get a warning for movement on the start, so that will carry with him for the remainder of the evening. It was a touch keen to get underway, but Norit Bladorn, unfortunately, has had a poor start to tonight. He's had 2 rides and has failed to score so far. OK, let's get some more reaction with Abby.
Thanks, Calv. I've just been writing down my scores. Richie, you've got to be delighted with that score.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for any more, really. Yeah, brilliant. So we've got to keep it going now, then.
Yeah, so it is 9-21. So look, what's happened? Like Danny was saying at the start to Scott Nichols, that it's the time where you get your setup dialed in, because this could potentially be a dress rehearsal for the grand final.
Yeah, or the semis, depending on how we finish. But yeah, we know we're probably going to have to be here in the playoffs. So yes, place we struggle at, but we had a good result in the cup earlier in the year, and we know we're a good team, and if we all fire, we're going to have a good chance of winning anywhere. But we've been on top of our game the last few weeks, so it's nice to see him start this well, but let's see if we can keep it up for the whole meeting.
Nice to have this tempo, though, on the early doors. Thank you, Richie. OK, back up to you guys.
Chabby, of course, Norit Bladorn has 2 on the spin here. He's out in heat number 6, where he partners Brady Kurtz, so there will be a slight delay for that. The referee will give him a little bit of extra time. It's been relatively busy so far this evening, so it'll be his 3rd ride in heat number 6 from the first 6 races. There he is, hasn't had a great start to the evening, hasn't scored so far, so a rider that actually, when we heard from him when he was out in Riga for the SGP2 round, 2nd round in Riga in the Baikoniki Stadium, said he was feeling a lot better and he was feeling healthier, but a tough start for him tonight.
Could have fooled me. He's had a very tough start. And Lemo will be looking for more from him. If you look at the Aces score sheet, they've got a lot of last places, and they need to start getting heat advantages to call themselves back into this meeting. So indeed, riders like Bladorn, Mulford, Ziski, they need to start scoring points. Otherwise, Belle Vue won't make up any ground.
No, it hasn't been the start they were looking for, that's for sure. 2-minute warning is on. Clock is ticking down for the 4 riders to make their way round to the start. Smashing looking lineup once again. Brady Kurtz, who dropped points, doesn't very often drop points here in the National Speedway Stadium, but dropped a couple in his first ride. He'll be very keen to put that right here in number 6. To say, you're right, 6 last places for the Belle Vue Aces in the first 5 races, so that's not the ideal start for them. So riders are appearing at tapes. One more rider to appear, and that will be Norit Bladorn, who was out in the previous race. He'll be hoping for better here in heat number 6. Line up for you in heat number 6 is Brady Kurtz off the inside in the red helmet colour. Emil Saifutinov, gate number 2 in white. Norit Bladorn will come from gate 3 in blue, and Dan Thompson going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Gates 1 and 3, Brady Kurtz and Norit Bladorn. Kurtz, very reliable. Chris Louis there on the left of screen with Tom Brennan, he must be pleased. Dan Bewley also in the foreground. Kurtz has got to get out of the start this time.
Yeah, he has. Emil looks really fast in heat 4, and Brady won't want to let him get a head start on him, that is for sure. It's time for the aces to bounce back, and Brady Kurtz here on gate 1. He's going to want to make a good start.
Emil Saifutinov made a lovely start from gate 4 in his first ride, and as hard as Bewley tried, Bewley just couldn't quite gain any momentum on him at all, because there's no question that the experienced Emil Saifutinov knew exactly where he needed to be riding. Good match-up here. As I repeat, 21 points to the Witches, 9 points to the Belle Vue Aces. Here we go then. Heat number 6. Star Marshall moves away, the tapes are up. The Dawn's made a lovely start, Kurtz is there as well. Great response, Dan Thompson trying to get round the outside of Dawn. Not only has he got round the outside of Dawn, he's got around the outside of Brady Kurtz. Where did he come from? That's a fantastic opening lap from Dan Thompson. Emil Saifutinov is strapped to the back, he's got work to do, but Dan Thompson, a fabulous ride from him.
Yeah, what a first bend from Dan Thompson round the outside of Brady Kurtz there to take the lead, and he's looking good out in front. He's riding that wide line. He's riding where Brady Kurtz wants to be. But Brady Kurtz slowly starting to reel him in. Bit of a battle at the back as well between Emil and Bladorn. Brady Kurtz now enters wide into turn 3. He's looking to cut back, but at the moment Dan Thompson riding an excellent race.
One lap to go for Dan Thompson, who's ridden absolutely out of his skin out in front. He's under pressure. Kurtz is coming at him like a steam train down the back straight on the last lap. Kurtz is wide, jumps back to the inside. Is he going to get there? Wow, Dan Thompson! Dan Thompson with a stunning ride in heat number 6. That's a fairy tale for him. The man he's just beaten has just won 3 Grand Prix on the spin. That is remarkable ride. Fair play to Dan Thompson. And Emil Saifutinov back in 3rd place as well, and having a real dust up with Norit Bladorn, but there's no question the headlines in heat number 6 has to be Dan Thompson lowering the colours of Brady Kurtz. What a ride from him, 3 points out in front. Brady Kurtz back in 2nd place, 2 points. Emil Saifutinov coming through into 3rd place, 1 point for him. And Norit Bladorn, unfortunately, his woes continue. He failed to score in heat number 6. Well, possibly Dan Thompson's best ever ride.
I was going to say the same thing, probably the ride of his career. Watch Dan Thompson here in the yellow helmet. It's Brady Kurtz that makes the start. And at this point, Belle Vue look in control, but Dan Thompson swoops round the outside. And after that, he sticks to his guns. He rides in the right part of the track. He's out in the deeper dirt on the outside, rides smooth, rides fast. And here we see Brady Kurtz, 2nd in the World Championship, 3 Grand Prix wins in a row. And he can't overtake Dan Thompson. It really will, that will be a highlight of his career so far. Excellent ride for young Dan Thompson.
Smashing ride from Dan Thompson. Jason Dord delighted as well. Superb stuff. So while we've got some time, and with riders being changed around, let's get some reaction with Abby.
Yeah, we're joined by Zach Cook, who's been involved in some exciting heats so far, Zach. It was a brilliant move to split up Doyley and King.
Yeah, definitely. Track was a bit difficult, that one, after the water on. It's a bit hard on the inside, so it's a bit icy, but yeah, it's sort of, first corner I sort of just straightened up, and I got through the pair of them. Then I felt vulnerable all race. I was waiting for Doyley. I didn't know whether Doyley or Kingy to come, and then, yeah, last lap I seen his shadow down the back straight, and I knew it was coming. I was like, yeah, but I was glad I turned back and it just had enough in over the line.
Did Doyley come and speak to you afterwards? Did he say anything?
No, he read me there, but no, it was good. Got the 3 points in the end.
And a good battle between you and Tom Brennan as well. You've got speed in that bike tonight, Zach.
Yeah, definitely. I was a bit eager in the start in that first one. Sort of made terrible with the second one, but yeah, got speed. Just need to keep making a few starts and yeah, be at the top end.
Thanks for chatting, Zach. Let's head over now to Scotty, who's out on the track.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. It's talk about the sort of gate choice at the beginning of the meeting. It's always a little bit of a conundrum, what way to go. Obviously, Belle Vue opted for 1 and 3 and seems to have kind of caught them out a bit. I'm here on gate 4 right now. If the cameraman can see behind, there's a lot more material there that the boys can kind of pack that in. Even if there's a rut, they can put that material back into it. If I slide across to gate 3 here, it's just a little bit harder. There's not as much material here, although there is a bit of moisture and a bit of grip, but the key at the moment, and it could fade out later in the meeting as the racing line develops and comes over, but gate 4, the run into the turn has been ripped up for that little bit further, kind of goes right up past here, whereas gates 3, 2 and 1 progressively get a little bit shorter. So early doors, that's given the outside that little bit of advantage. But like I say, when it gets later on, that dirt line goes wide. The boys coming over this start-finish line, if that gets packed in. But there is definitely more material there. Was that to do with the weather? Or they've done something different with track conditions, who knows? But at the moment, it's swinging in the way of the Witches, and I have to say, what an awesome ride by Dan Thompson last time out. Back to you guys in commentary.
Yeah, thank you very much, Scotty. It was indeed Mark Lemon now making his move. They have had a torrid start to tonight. They really are on the back foot. And heat number 7, Tate Ziske has been taken out, and Brady Kurtz is being brought in. He's going to join Dan Bewley, so the big guns coming out for the Belle Vue Aces in heat number 7. And Adam Ellis and Tom Brennan will have a bit of a tear up with the 2 top Grand Prix stars from the home team. Good move.
I think Mark Lemon needs to act as quick as he can, and when you look at, you'd have to say Dan Bewley and Brady Kurtz are as strong a pairing as anyone in the league, so really you could throw them in anywhere.
Now 5-1 they require, and as incredibly Brady Kurtz hasn't won a race so far this evening, which out of his 2 rides tonight. Will that change? He's got gate number 4 here. Gate 4's working well here this evening, so he'll be fancying his chances, but the Ipswich Witches have turned up, and they are riding superbly well. So all these races have been hotly contested so far. 25 points to the Witches, 11 points to the Belle Vue Aces, and they are very keen indeed to try and battle their way back into it with their big guns coming out in heat number 7. Line up for heat number 7. Here we go. Adam Ellis is on the inside in the white helmet colour. Dan Bewley, gate number 2 in red. Tom Brennan, gate 3 in yellow. And Brady Kurtz, the tactical substitute for Tate Ziske, comes in here. He'll go from the outside in the blue helmet colour. Tough night so far for the home team. And they really are up against it, because when you've got riders like Dan Thompson beating Brady Kurtz out there in the National Speedway Stadium, it has been a remarkable start to the evening. But here we go. The Ace is about to turn it around in heat number 7.
Well, now would be as good a time as any. They certainly need to.
They do indeed. Riders doing plenty of work in the start line. 23 seconds to go, so they need to be at tapes, ready to go before the clock runs out. 1 and 3 for the Witches, 2 and 4 for the Aces, but the Aces have got 2 Grand Prix stars in Bewley and Kurtz. Here we go. Massive moment in the context of the evening. Tax substitute is out. Here we go then. Green light comes on. Refs are up. Tapes are up now. Kurtz, Bewley. They've made it. They get there. Brilliant start from Bewley. He fires himself to the front. Kurtz coming round the outside. Yes, normal service resumed, you would suggest. Kurtz wide. Bewley in the middle of the track. Here comes Brennan through into 3rd place. But Kurtz and Bewley locked together here.
Yeah, great start from the Belle Vue boys. They look like they've done this before. Excellent start from Bewley on the inside. He looks over his shoulder, allows Kurtz around the outside. And now the Aces on a well-needed 5-1, looking comfortable in front of Ipswich.
Yeah, Brady Kurtz looking great. As you rightly say, Ollie, they look like they've done it before, and they have. They look absolutely like poetry in motion here. Brennan's giving it everything back in 3rd place, but with under a lap to go, you've got to say that this is just going to settle the home team down. The move was made by Lemon. He brings in the number 1 man for the Aces, and they have responded brilliantly. They needed this, and they've come through. They've delivered. Heat number 7. The first 5-1 for the home team this evening, and they reduced the lead. Still 10 points, remarkably, still 10 points. But Brady Kurtz and Dan Bewley, just reminding everybody they're quite useful around this particular track. And Kurtz, who had dropped 3 points in his first 2 rides, picks up 3 in heat number 7 as a tactical substitute for Tate Ziske. Crowd happy. Bewley and Kurtz doing a wonderful job for the home team in heat number 7. This is the result for you. Brady Kurtz wins 3 points for him. Bewley back in second place, 2 points. 1 point for Tom Brennan, and Adam Ellis fails to score in heat number 7. And Dan Bewley and Brady Kurtz coming through in fine style there. You could have predicted it, but they needed it because they were so far behind.
Yeah, they certainly did. It wasn't an easy race. Brennan's going well at the moment, but here we see again the Belle Vue boys in red and blue. Dan Bewley does the hard work. He gets across Adam Ellis into the first bend. Now he takes a quick look there of his right shoulder, has another look to make sure it's Kurtz. He allows him to run round the outside of him. That's 3 looks he's had for his teammate on the first lap. Excellent team riding there from Dan Bewley. And we see again Bewley from gate 2. He gets over the top of Ellis, shuts the door on him. Has a quick look any second, there it is, has a look for Kurtz, allows him to come around the outside. Then after that, they settle in on a 5-1. Both riders using that high, wide line in the deeper dirt and look really fast out in front. Good move by Lemon.
Indeed it was, much needed 5-1 for the home team. They will feel a little happier about it now, but they're still 10 points behind. Abby, you're there.
Yes, I am there. Let's see. Quick word from Dan. Dan, a great team riding there. Some much needed points. 5-1 between you and Brady.
No, we always try and do a little bit, but we're in a little bit of desperate need at the minute to do a bit more. So yeah, hopefully you can pull some more points back.
What do you think's caused that?
Yeah, I don't know. No, obviously they're a strong. They are a strong team, but I think we are too. But yeah, they've just been gone pretty good. That's all there is to say about it. So yeah.
Well, you and Brady pretty good in that last seat, so keep it up. We're going to take a very short break. That hashtag tonight is Bellips. When we come back, we'll resume the action here at the National Speedway Stadium.
And here at the Adrian Fox Arena, Kings Lynn against Leicester is underway after a sun delay of around half an hour or so. Heat number 1 with Niels Christian Everson in blue, just closing off there. Max Frick in white for the Leicester Lions. Jankovic in red for Kings Lynn, going around the outside of Kyle Howarth. Competitive stuff on the fourth turn between those two, and Kyle Howarth making his way back through past Jankovic into the second lap. Don't forget these two sides met last week in the KO Cup final. It was a draw on this circuit, 45, although the Kings Lynn team formation is somewhat different on this occasion. When they met at Leicester on Thursday night, it was a 60-30 victory for the Leicester Lions to clinch the knockout cup. So Kings Lynn hoping for some kind of revenge on that here this evening. And they have Niels Christian Everson out in front here in Blover. Max Frick and Everson has been somewhat short of points in the last couple of weeks after a couple of incidents abroad, a crash, and also an incident where a stone went through his goggles, which was very nasty indeed. But back on the winning track here in Heat 1, Niels Christian Everson over Max Frick, with Kyle Howarth in third place for a shared heat to open the meeting. And a good ride by Everson to see off Max Frick there. Heat 2 saw a competitive start once again, with the rider in red Tobias Thompson guesting for Kings Lynn tonight in place of Ben Cook. He got the advantage over the Lions duo. It's Drew Kemp in white and Joe Thompson in yellow, with the Kings Lynn rising star Luke Harrison battling at the back but unable to make any impression. And a good solid ride here by Thompson, who's a championship regular with the Poole Pirates, but getting a victory here at Premiership level, holding off Drew Kemp for the win in a shared Heat 2 to make it 6 points apiece at that stage. Thompson over Kemp, with Joe Thompson in third place. On we go to Heat 3 then, and off the inside a good start by Ryan Douglas in white and Kyle Howarth in yellow tries to go with him. It's Richard Lawson in blue in between. Coming through in red is Chris Harris, going from fourth to second, hard down the inside into bend 3 and 4, relegating Howarth to the back, although he turns back again and Howarth makes that move off bend 4 once more. It's all in Heat 1 and we'll see it again in Heat 3, and it gets him third place here over Richard Lawson, with Douglas out in front, Harris in second place, Howarth in third. And this could be the first race advantage of the meeting, with the Leicester Lions out in front in the form of Ryan Douglas, who really has been a consistent force this season, has stepped things up just as the manager Stuart Dixon was hoping he would, and he race leads here with Chris Harris gradually beginning to reel him in around turn 3 and 4, checking over his shoulder to see where Howarth is. But Douglas in control of this Heat 3, heading home. Chris Harris with Kyle Howarth in third place. So a decent start here for the Leicester Lions after 3 races, as Douglas takes the flag in heat number 3 from Chris Harris. And the score now, Kings Lynn 8, Leicester 10.
Welcome back to Belle Vue. The home side got a much-needed 5-1 in that last heat. It's still 10 points, though, between the two sides. Ipswich have really come tonight, and they mean business. Let's head to Kings Lynn and get the latest from Dave Rowe.
Underway here at the Adrian Flux Arena after a sun delay, and a good ride in Heat 1 from the Kings Lynn man Niels Christian Iverson in blue. Was short on points in the knockout cup final between these two clubs last week, but he got the better of Max Frick in the early stages, whilst at the back Carl Howarth in yellow coming through on the inside of Jan Quebec for a shared heat in the first race. Also a share in Heat 2 with the win for Tobias Thompson, and Heat 3 saw a good start by Ryan Douglas in white and a good battle on the first lap. It's Lawson in second place, Harris coming through on the inside to go from fourth to second, and then Howarth making the move off the fourth turn to come through back into third place. Douglas then saw off Harris for the remainder of the race, so Leicester into a narrow lead here in the early stages at the Adrian Flux Arena as Douglas beats Harris there, and with 3 heats gone, it's Kings Lynn 8, Leicester 10.
Dave, thank you. Well, the snooker season has officially kicked off. The Saudi Arabia Snooker Masters is set for a spectacular debut. Britain's Judd Trump will be the one to watch as he looks to hold on to his reigning champion status. Right, here we go then. It's about the halfway point of this meeting. What can Belle Vue produce? Over to you, Cal.
Thanks very much, Abby. I tell you what, they've got 2 riders out here in heat number 8, and neither of them has scored a point. And that is quite alarming. Norik Bladorn and Jake Mulford, they haven't scored any points so far this evening, and Danny King and Jason Edwards have. They have been well and truly on the pace, so heat number 8 on paper is looking good for the Ipswich Witches. Mulford and Bladorn have got to dig deep here. They had a 5-1, the Aces, in the previous race. They need to try and keep the momentum going. Line up for heat number 8 is Jason Edwards, the fast starting tonight. Jason Edwards, gate number 1 in yellow. Gate 2 in blue is Jake Mulford. Gate 3 in white is Danny King. Norik Bladorn off the outside for the Belle Vue Aces in the red helmet colour. This is on paper here. I repeat, Mark Lemon must be a little concerned because both riders are out of the point so far.
Yeah, neither have looked particularly good so far tonight, and like you said, the Ipswich Witches, Edwards and King have looked very good, very sharp off the start as well, so a tough one here for Belle Vue.
Indeed. Riders with 30 seconds to go before they need to be at tapes. Danny King, who got off to a flying start, of course, in heat number 1. Superstar for him with Jason Doyle. Really was a bit of a surprise, but from that moment on, they have maintained a tremendously high standard so far tonight. As Abby was saying, it is the midway point of the evening. And will it be a meeting of 2 halves, or will we see the Ipswich Witches maintain this form? Here we go, heat number 8, takes her up, and away we go. Gotta say it's tight into the first corner. Gotta say that's very different from Mulford. Totally different. You could not have predicted that. Mulford has been tailed off in his previous races. He's made a stunning start. It is out in front, and guess what? Norik Bladorn joins him, and they've already cleared off out in front. What a turnaround in form for these two riders, looking good in front.
Yeah, what a start from the Belle Vue boys. I have to say, I did not predict that at all. I didn't see it coming, but Jake Mulford, clever first couple of laps from him to allow his teammate to join him at the front. Excellent start from both boys, and 5-1 on the cards here for Belle Vue, and really against the form book.
Totally turned the bookies' form book upside down here in heat number 8. 5-1 in the previous race from Kurtz and Bewley. You could see that one. Could not have predicted this, but what a response from the champions. Absolutely superb ride from these. Fresh crowd are on their feet. They are battling back, and the Ipswich Witches just outraced there in heat number 8 by Norik Bladorn and a fast starting Jake Mulford. Where did he find that from? I saw him ride on Friday night in Latvia, and he really was quite disappointing. Started the evening with 2 rides and no points, but by golly, heat number 8, Bladorn and Mulford turning on the style. Maybe Mark Lemon had a word with them just before going out.
He must have.
He must have done. But all of a sudden, there's only 6 points in it. Can you believe it? Bladorn out in front. What a ride. 3 points for him. Jake Mulford Second place for him, 2 points. Danny King back in third, 1 point, and Jason Edwards misses out there in heat number 8. 2 5-1s and 2 races for the home team, and all of a sudden this is a contest now.
Yeah, Jake Mulford, great start from gate 2. I don't know whether he's changed bike or something, but he looks a different rider, really does. Intelligent first lap as well. You see him look over his shoulder. Here we see again Jake Mulford on the inside in the blue helmet. He's miles clear. You'll see him have a look over his shoulder in a minute for his teammate. Here's later on in the race, the Dawn out front, Mulford following him on that outside. And the Ipswich boys couldn't get anywhere near them. Fantastic ride for Belle Vue there, and just what they need, really. Yeah, excellent ride from those two.
Battling back, Mark Lemon will be happier now, just 6 points in it. Did go out to 12, just a couple of races back, when all of a sudden going into the second half of the meeting, and heat number 9, where we'll see Dan Bewley coming in to replace Jamin Lidsey. So another big hitter coming out in heat number 9. Mark Lemon just studying his programme once again, and he'll be feeling a little happier about the situation as we move into the second half of this hotly contested Premiership match between the top 2 teams in the league here tonight. Riders heading out. Zach Cook's been fast as well, and all of a sudden Bewley and Cook up against Saifutinov and Dan Thompson, although Dan Thompson lowered the colours of the man who has just won 3 Grand Prix. Bewley on his way, but the Aces are beginning to flex their muscles, excuse me, at the midway point of the evening. Here comes Bewley, Thompson, Cook, they're already at tapes, and what a night it is turning out to be. Brady Kurtz looking remarkably relaxed, and Bewley didn't really know why the Ipswich switcher had started so well. Line-up, heat number 9, Emil Saifutinov, he's on the inside gate in white. Zach Cook, brilliant ride last time, he's coming out of gate number 2 in blue. Dan Thompson, an even better ride last time, he won and beat everybody, he beat Brady Kurtz. He's coming out of gate number 3 in yellow, and Dan Bewley, who actually joined Brady Kurtz last time out, and heat number 7 for a 5-1. He comes in here as a rider replacement for Jamin Lidsey. Richie Hawkins, slightly different mindset for the team manager now. He did say, got to keep it going, and there has been a strong response, and the Belle Vue Aces are fighting back in what is a terrific night of speedway here in Manchester. Saifutinov against Bewley, part 2, Ollie. What way is it going to go this time?
I wouldn't like to call it. I called the last one, I got it completely wrong, so I think I'll sit on the fence for this one.
Oh, all right. That's
Sorry.
Disappointing.
I don't need to be more confidence again.
There we are. Okay. Bewley on the outside. I fancy his chances. Here we go. Saifutinov gate 1. Bewley gate 4. Here we go. The tapes are up. We're racing. Emil Saifutinov's made a lovely start. He roars out to the outside. Bewley now gets his wheels in line. Can he get up the inside of Saifutinov? Not quite. Brilliant first half a lap from the Russian rider Emil Saifutinov. Charges into the second lap. Zach Cook coming through into third place. He gets the better of Dan Thompson, but this could be quite a tussle out in front here, Ollie.
Yeah, big race between the front 2. Emil out in front, he's riding that wide line. That's where Bewley wants to be as well. I have to say, I think if Emil stays there, he'll be safe out in front. He's riding where Bewley wants to be on that faster part of the track.
Wow, that is some high-speed speedway here in the National Speedway Stadium. Emil Saifutinov keeping Bewley at bay. Zach Cook is a country mile behind in third place, but the 2 riders out in front are putting on a demonstration of speedway, which is down at the top draw. Saifutinov is going to lower the colours of Bewley for the second time this evening. How about that? It's a shared race. The lead is still 6, but there wasn't a lot of overtaking. But just watching those 2 riders roar around this track in Manchester, crikey, it is breathtaking. Really is. Emil Saifutinov from gate 1 has just ridden a masterclass to beat a man who's extraordinarily difficult to beat here. Saifutinov, very impressive. 3 points for him. Dan Bewley back in second place. 2 points for him. Zach Cook back in third, 1 point for Zach, and Dan Thompson misses out in a hotly contested heat number 9. Shared race, 6 points still in it, but that man unbeaten so far, and that was some ride from Saifutunov here.
Yeah, excellent start from Emil on the inside gate. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to get out to the outside and stop that run of Dan Bewley, which he does. Bewley tries to switch back, but Emil's got that move covered into turn 3. And once Emil got onto that outside line, he was doing everything that Bewley wanted to do in the same part of the track, and there really wasn't anything Dan could do about it. He's matched him for speed, but Emil's rode a clever race there. He's an experienced rider now. You see him here. He's entering the corner on the outside in that deeper dirt. Even has time for a cheeky look back. Excellent ride from Emil. Looks really good out in front.
No, he wasn't going to be intimidated. No question about it.
Absolutely not.
And the experience and the class of the man, he remained composed. Fabulous ride from both of them, in truth. It really was a sight to behold. So 30 points to the Ipswich Witches, 24 points to the Belle Vue Aces, who have had 2 5-1s and a 3-all in the last 3 races, and are battling back in this top-of-the-table clash here tonight. Heat number 10, we'll see Blue Dawn again. He's had a busy night. He won heat number 8. Prior to that, the first 3 outings, he failed to score and bounced back with a terrific ride in heat number 8. And Brady Kurtz also joining Dan Bewley in heat number 7. He picked up his first win of the evening. Will he be able to continue on here in heat number 10? What a night of Speedway we are witnessing in the Premiership this evening. Line up for heat number 10. We've got Tom Brennan on the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Alongside him in gate 2 is Norik Bladorn in blue. He's had a warning earlier on. Adam Ellis, gate number 3 in white. And Brady Kurtz will start from gate number 4 in the red helmet colour. Kurtz was good from 4 in heat 7. He'll be looking to repeat. Brennan on the inside. He'll be looking to do what Emil Saifutunov did in the previous race.
Yeah, I think if you're Tom Brennan here on gate 1, you are looking to emulate your teammate in the race before. He needs to get out of the start quickly and get onto that outside line, because Brady Kurtz, make no mistake, will be coming round the outside.
Yeah, and if Kurtz hits the front, you've got to believe the job for the Ipswich Witches is then to try and keep Norik Bladorn at the back and get away with a 3-all and maintain the 6-point margin between the 2 sides. The Aces have battled hard and they've got themselves right back in this. They did slip 12 points behind earlier on, but it does appear in the second half of the evening it's all going to get a little bit closer. Heat number 10, here we go. Shaw moves away, green light comes on, takes her up. Bladorn's made a lovely start, but it's tight going into the first turn. Brennan, my goodness gracious me, I thought he was going to run straight to the side of Kurtz. Kurtz had a duck under his handlebars. Momentarily, Bladorn came up into second place, but Brennan has responded, just about hanging on. Kurtz now hits the front. Adam Ellis has got work to do, but Bladorn is making Brennan work very hard.
Yeah, really tough first corner for Brennan. He had one thing on his mind. He wanted to stop that run from Kurtz. Kurtz got to that dirt line first. He's now stretched his lead in front. Bladorn putting Brennan under a little bit of pressure, but he's getting under pressure himself now from Adam Ellis at the back.
Adam Ellis working very hard to try and get the better of the German in third place. Kurtz looking like he's going to do just what he did in heat number 7. Oh my goodness gracious me, it's tight at the back. Adam Ellis having to come out of the gas. Bladorn on the outside, one last chance for Ellis. Kurtz has got this all wrapped up with Brennan back in second place. Battle for third. Looks like Bladorn's going to hang on. Got a heat advantage to the Aces, and now the lead's down to 4. It's all closing up. Very tight indeed. See, since heat number 7, the Belle Vue Aces really have had the upper hand, and you've got to say this is really going to be a tense battle as we come towards the end of the night. Brennan and Kurtz just having a chat on the roll down lap, but Brady Kurtz back to winning ways once again in heat number 10. 3 points for the Australian. Tom Brennan in second place, 2 points. 1 for Norik Bladorn, who came under a lot of pressure late on from Adam Ellis, who missed out in heat number 10. Just the 4 points now, 32 to 28. And we're in for quite some tussle as we go towards heat 15.
Yeah, keep your eye on Tom Brennan there on the inside. Oh, that is really close to taking out Brady Kurtz. Kurtz even has a little look back to see if Brennan's still on his bike. But yeah, Tom Brennan had one thing on his mind. He knew what he needed to do. The bike lifted going into the first bend, and it sent him quite violently out onto that outside line. But there's Brady Kurtz looking fairly relaxed out in front on that outside line, waving back to Tom Brennan to say, hurry up, where are you? Possibly a gesture to do with that first bend incident, really. Obviously, Bladorn in third place with Ellis putting him under all sorts of pressure on the last lap, but unfortunately, Ellis couldn't get past Bladorn and secure that extra point. 4-2 to Belle Vue. There's Brady Kurtz enjoying himself in front on the back wheel as he crosses the finish line.
Yeah, 4-2-2 Belle Vue, and game on, really, because 4 points between the two teams. Kurtz probably not appreciating the move that Brennan put on him in the first turn, but I have some sympathy for Brennan.
It was accidental.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't no malice in it. He lifted on the way into the corner, and the bike just drove across the turn. I think he may well have been trying to explain that as they made their way back towards the pits. So heat number 11, 28 points to the home team, 32 points for the visitors. Bewley out here once again. This is his fourth ride. Finished second last time. He's been beaten twice by Emil Seifutinov this evening and had a 5-1 with Brady Kurtz in heat number 7. So Jason Doyle and Dana King joining forces here. Heat number 11 for the Ipswich Witches, and Bewley will be very keen to try and get the better of the opposition here. Of course he will in heat 11. Line up, heat number 11. Dan Bewley's on the inside in the red helmet colour. Jason Doyle out of gate number 2 in white. Tate Ziski, gate 3 in blue, and Danny King will start from the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. 4 points in it. Tense times. The Aces are on a bit of a roll ever since heat number 7. It really has been a different meeting. Bewley, pressure on. He knows how to deal with it. He's a pretty laid-back character. Doesn't seem to get too flustered. He's got gate 1 Ollie here.
He has, like you say, he is a laid-back personality. Pressure doesn't seem to bother him, so he won't be too worried about Jason Doyle next to him, but I probably would be.
I tend to agree. Jason is a hard charger, and there's no question he never knows when he's beaten, and he'll be very keen to try and get the better of Dan Bewley here if he can. Here we go, riders coming forward. Number 11. Great speedway we've witnessed so far this evening. Here we go, takes her up, rolling towards the first corner. Bewley gets there. Jason Doyle goes into the middle of the track. Danny King coming around the outside, but it's Doyle looking over his shoulder, allows King to come through. Bewley going right out wide. King following him through. Doyle's gone right to the inside with Tate Ziski back in fourth place. But right now, with Bewley looking $1 million out in front, it's damage limitation for the Witches.
It is indeed. Ipswich packing out that second and third place, keeping it at 3-3 at the moment. But Ziski putting Doyle under quite a lot of pressure. He now moves to the inside of Doyle. Doyle lifts a little bit on the outside. He holds on to that third place for now. But Dan Bewley out in front in a different postcode to the other three.
Indeed, it's Bewley looking fabulous in front. Really enjoying the dirt. Such a sight to behold. Got to say that Danny King and Jason Doyle have done the teamwork back in second, third. Ziski has been competitive in fourth place. Lovely ride from Bewley. But it's a 3-all with King and Doyle coming through in second and third. Bewley wins. Lovely ride from Dan Bewley. And he clearly was enjoying himself. You could just see the way he was attacking the corners and just wheels in line, carrying more and more speed. Really is a very skillful rider indeed. Dan Bewley wins, 3 points for him. Danny King back in second place, 2 points. Jason Doyle in third, 1 point, and Tate Ziski fails to score in heat number 11. Here we go, let's watch it again.
Yeah, Dan Bewley makes an excellent start from gate 1. Doesn't go too high on the first bend, runs sort of mid-track. He knows what he's doing, he's done it before. once he gets onto the back straight, gets some fresh air, he moves out into that high line on the outside. It really was a display of someone riding at on top form, really. Looked relaxed and fast and just stretched his lead. Here we see again Bewley with an excellent start, rides mid-track, clears off after that, and then the Ipswich boys, Jason Doyle looks for his teammate on the first lap, allows King to come round him, and from then on it was just a case of keeping that 3-3. Just keep putting them under some pressure. Not a bad ride from him, but the Ipswich Witches will be happy with the 3-3.
So Super Speedway here tonight in the National Speedway Stadium. Everybody just taking a breath for a moment, but we can get some reaction. Emilsai Fuchanov is going to join Abby.
Emil, this is turning out to be a great speedway meeting. You've had a couple of great heats, just lowering the colours of Dan Bewley as well.
Yeah, just we try to find some, it's good speed around the track from the start also, and yeah, looking it's really good. It's obviously it's hard work today, but it's like every time, when I come to Manchester and yeah, try to fix it some things, to be like a little bit more consistent, with every hit, and yeah, it's hard track. It's really tricky, but I hope I find some key to be like faster every hit.
You looked great out there in your last heat. You're saying how hard is it? Are you enjoying it as well?
Yeah, that's true. I like this track because you can feel like that speed. Especially when your setups, you have like good opportunity. Is going like this dirt material. Is outside, and yeah, I got good acceleration there, and yeah. So just I hope I keep for next hit, and we'll be all right.
Keep it going, Emil. Thank you for chatting. That hashtag is BelleIps. Get your questions to Scott Nichols. I'll ask him later on the show when we come back. It's just 4 points in it, and we're in the latter part of this meeting.
And back here at the Adrian Flux Arena, Leicester took a 2-point lead into Heat 4, where the home captain Nikolai Clint in red is well clear out in front of Joe Thompson, with Sam Masters in third place. And Sam Masters doing his best to team ride Joe Thompson through, whilst Luke Harrison in blue looking for a way through. And it all got very tight indeed off the final bend, with Sam Masters making a slight mistake. Luke Harrison trying down the inside, and they did get very close there on the line, with Sam Masters just holding on for third place for a shared heat there for the Leicester Lions. Luke Harrison's efforts just in vain. Here's the action then from Heat 5, and Max Frick trying to come across on the outside in white. Good start by Ryan Douglas in yellow, and then Max Frick goes charging hard inside Richard Lawson off turn 2 to join up with his colleague Ryan Douglas. Leicester putting a strong pairing in here with the rider replacement in Heat 5, and getting exactly what they wanted from Max Frick and Ryan Douglas ahead of Richard Lawson and Chris Harris. First big move really of the meeting. Leicester going at 6 points in front with a 5-1 in Heat 5 from Max Frick and Ryan Douglas. So Kings Lynn looking for a response in Heat 6, but again it's Leicester who have made the start. Drew Kemp in yellow and Sam Masters in white, but through on the inside in blue comes Niels Christian Everson to split the Leicester pairing. It's Drew Kemp in front, and there's Jan Kvek in red. He's trying to make a passing move too on Sam Masters, and Masters has gone from second to last, but Drew Kemp still out in front here, the man who scored 0 in the Cup last Monday at this venue. He leads both Everson and Kvek, although Everson turns back hard down the inside off the fourth turn and moves through past Drew Kemp into the lead. Good ride by Niels Christian Everson, has come from third to first, although Kemp is going to try and come back at him on the back straight. It's Kvek in third place, and Kings Lynn here, fair play to them. They've battled hard. They've turned a 1-5 into a 4-2, and they may yet get more than that, because Jan Kvek is still trying to make a passing move on Drew Kemp, who holds it really tight there off the second turn, and looks like he's established second place now, but a good ride by Everson out in front off that final bend. Everson over Kemp with Kvek in third place, and a 4-2 to Kings Lynn, making it 16-20 after 6 races, and that's 2 rides and 2 wins for a revitalised Niels Christian Everson. Good start here by Ryan Douglas in Heat 7 with his teammate Carl Howarth going around the outside, and Douglas lifting off the second bend, but Howarth coming inside him and that actually protects the place for the Lions. Douglas going wide off the bend, trying to close off Nikolai Clint, which he's done, and that's a big move there for Leicester to get a 5-1 out of Heat 7, their second 5-1 in 3 races. Carol Howarth and Ryan Douglas there with maximum points over Nikolai Clint and Tobias Thompson, and that gets Leicester into an 8-point lead at this stage of the meeting at the halfway point of the match. 7 heats gone here. It's Kings Lynn 17, Leicester 25.
Welcome back to the National Speedway Stadium. We've got 4 heats remaining. It's 4 points separating the two sides, 31-35. Belle Vue have absolutely had the upper hand in the last few heats. Ipswich, which has started on absolute fire. They were brilliant, lightning out of the blocks. Let's see how this latter part of the meeting is going to unfold. But before we do that, let's head to Kings Lynn and to Dave Rowe.
Well, Leicester moved into a 6-point lead here with a 5-1 in Heat 5 from Ryan Douglas and Max Ricker. They look to be well set in Heat 6 as well, with Drew Kemp out in front ahead of his teammate Sam Masters. But Niels Christian Everson working hard down the inside to make his way inside Masters, and Quebec came through as well for 3rd place. And then Everson went and chased after Drew Kemp as well and made that passing move into the 3rd lap, and that turned a potential 1-5 into a 4-2. Kings Lynn battling on there, but then they were in trouble again in Heat 7 with Ryan Douglas making a fast start, and watch him lift here off the second turn, but round in between comes Carl Howarth to go alongside his teammate, and they protect that situation up on the 3rd and 4th bend over Nikolai Clint, and that will be Leicester's second 5-1 in 3 races as they begin to take control of this meeting at the Adrian Fox Arena. Carl Howarth and Ryan Douglas there with maximum points over Nikolai Clint and Tobias Thompson, and with 7 heats gone in this delayed meeting at Kings Lynn, it is now Kings Lynn 17, Leicester 25.
Dave, thank you. Well, for all you motorsport fans, you've got more to enjoy this weekend. British Superbikes are in Thruxton for round 6. Coverage starts Saturday, 12:30 on TNT Sports 4 and 1 p.m. on the Sunday. Right, 4 heats remaining. Calvin, how's this going to go?
Well, I'd said at the beginning of the show, Abby, I fancied the home team. I got it completely wrong initially, but they are battling back very well indeed, and I sense that they have the momentum coming into Heat 12, the latter stages of the evening. And Jake Mulford, last time, really came from nowhere. Zach Cook comes out here as the rider replacement for Jamin Lidsey, and I do believe he's the man that I told everybody to keep an eye on, but he has gone actually quite well this evening, so I'm quite pleased with that, and I'm sure he'll want to finish with a big ride here.
Absolutely, and I know he'll have his thoughts in the back of his mind, and he'll want to do well for you, Kelvin, of course.
Yeah, we had a chat, and I said, don't let me down.
Yeah,
well, and he hasn't done, so I'm pleased with his performance. So here we go. Adam Ellis just having a bit of a running repair out on the track. Dan Thompson, who had that stunning ride earlier on where he got the better of Brady Kurtz. But there's no question. I sense it in the air, Ollie. I sense it in the air. The Aces are just beginning to find their mojo tonight.
They are.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they level this match up in the next race or 2. Although heat number 13, crikey, what a lineup.
Tasty lineup.
So line up heat number 12. Zach Cook, the rider replacement, comes out of gate number 1 in red. Dan Thompson, gate 2 in yellow. Gate 3 in blue is Jake Mulford. And Adam Ellis will go from the outside in the white helmet colour. Dan Thompson missed out last time, but he has done well so far this evening. Adam Ellis, who hasn't had a brilliant night, has had a change of heart and has decided to ride his spare bike here in heat number 12. He'll be hoping that works better than the first one. In no lack of effort from Adam, but just hasn't been able to pick up the points he would have liked. So not much longer to go before we're back on with the action. 35 points to the Witches. They've maintained the lead throughout, but it is much closer now. 31 to the Aces. Here we go then. Heat number 12. Whoa, movement on the start. Here we go into the first corner. It's Cook. Yeah, red lights on. Dan Thompson moved. Not sure he needed to pull it back. But no, because Thompson did actually penalise himself. He's going to give him a second chance now as a consequence. But I do. So it's Dan Thompson, the one that moves here.
Yeah, Dan Thompson, yellow helmet, has a little nibble just before the tape goes up, and rightly or wrongly, the referee stopped it and called it back. You could say he penalised himself and therefore let the race run. Adam Ellis, it's his turn to be gutted about a rerun, because he was in front. Great start from
Yeah, well, he
four.
made a fabulous start on his spare bike and looked like he was going to hit the front, but Dan Thompson, he will have to behave himself. Crucial times in the context of the evening now. Smashing start from the Ipswich Switchers. They were dominating the early races. The Aces have battled back and really have had to dig in, and they have responded. 4 points is the margin in heat number 12. Big races to come. Could this be a dress rehearsal for later on? Could it be the grand final? I'm sure Leicester Lions and the Sheffield Tigers will have something to say, but there's no doubt that these two teams, top of the table clash, are putting on quite a display for everybody to enjoy. Riders back to tapes, who's coming around the outside. It's second time of asking for heat number 12. It's Cook on the inside with a warning. Dan Thompson now in gate number 2 has also got a warning in the yellow helmet colour. Gate number 3 in blue is Jake Mulford. Adam Ellis, who'd made a lovely start initially, he's still on the outside with the white helmet colour. Can he reproduce it? Does that spare bike work better than the first one? He'll be certainly hoping so. There's a problem. Phil Morris is on the track. He was there, now he's back. Rapid, some debris out by the safety fence, by the pit gate. That has been sorted out. Jason Doyle ready to go for the next race. For heat number 12. Which way is it going to go? Cook is the rider replacement for Jamin Nutty. He's on the inside. Here we go then. We're racing. And once again, Ellis has made a good fist of it, but Cook's alongside him up the inside. The Cook's found the drive off that first corner. Brilliant first turn from him. Here comes Ellis. Ellis charges up the inside. Cook spares the corner off. Can he repay the compliment? Yes, he can. Ellis now once again electing to go high and wide. Round turns 1 and 2. Stunning lap and a half of Speedway.
Yeah, excellent first lap from Cook to take the lead back from Ellis. Ellis sticking wide on the outside, but Cook looking very fast on the inside part of the track. Ipswich, which is now in second and third, holding on to that 3-3. But Cook looking brilliant out in front again.
Zach Cook got a lot of speed, came under massive pressure when Ellis dive-bombed him going into turns 3 and 4 in the open lap. Through to the final lap of heat number 12. The points are going to be shared unless Mulford can get up the inside of Thompson. Then he did show his will just momentarily. Super ride from Zach Cook. He's ridden superbly well this evening. Ellis coming through in second. 3 points apiece. 3 points apiece. 4 points still in it. 38 points to 34. Race is running out for the Aces. The Ipswich Switches are really hanging tough. Richie Hawkins, calm as you like. Or is he? Probably whirring away inside. 3 points for Zach Cook. That was a smashing ride. How he got out of the first corner, terrific. 2 points for Adam Ellis, who tried awfully hard. Dan Thompson, likewise, back in third. 1 point for him, and Jake Mulford misses out in an exciting heat number 12. 4 points in it. 3 races to come.
Yeah, if you watch Adam Ellis in the white helmet, he makes a good start from gate 4, but doesn't quite make a good enough one to get all the way to the inside. He elects to run high into the dirt. He now squares the corner off into turn 3, dives up the inside with Cook. Cook sees that move coming. He cuts back to the inside. Cook showing loads of speed around the inside tonight. Here we see again the start. Ellis almost across from gate 4. He elects to, he doesn't quite make it, so runs high into the dirt on the outside. He cuts back down the back straight, dives up the inside of Cook. Cook sees it coming, he has a look, turns the bike back, gets onto that inside line, and from then on Cook clears off. Really good ride by Zach Cook, great first lap.
Lovely ride from Zach Cook. The crowd know what they're waiting for now, that's for sure. Heat number 13. What a lineup it is. This could grace any race, any place in the world. This could be a grand final in a Grand Prix easily. And riders making their way out. Kurtz and Bewley for the home team looking to close in. Still a 4-point margin. They're behind. 3 heats to go. It's going to be quite some conclusion because we're going to see some genuine world class in heats 13 and 15. There's no doubt about that. And this is a very tasty lineup indeed for heat number 13. Here we go. Crowd are applauding the riders just coming up to the tapes. How about that?
They're just pleased to see a lineup like that, aren't they? They're happy about it before it's even started.
So this is what we're talking about. The lineup for heat number 13. Jason Doyle's on the inside in the white helmet colour, former world champion. Brady Kurtz, second in the world championship chase in 2025. Gate number 2 in red. Emil Sayfutinov, world number 3 previously in 2021. He comes out of gate number 3 in yellow. And Dan Bewley, 4th in the world championship chase in 2025. He goes from the outside in the blue helmet colour. That's the lineup we're talking about. Which way is it going to go? It is truly remarkable. Arguably the best track in the world here in the National Speedway Stadium. Doesn't get too much better than this, Ollie.
No, it doesn't. So many racing lines, so many options for the riders to choose from, and it really does make for some exciting racing.
Here we go. Looking forward to it. Mouth-watering stuff. Chris Louis, he even looks a little bit excited. There we go. That's how good the lineup is. Riders taking their time. Just about 15 seconds to go before they need to be at tapes. Ready to go. Bewley and Kurtz came together earlier on this evening in Heat 7 and produced a 5-1. They had gate 2 and 4 that time, but the other way around. Here we go then. Heat number 13. Revs are up, the tapes are up. Away we go. Doyle's made a lovely start on the inside. He's run very wide. And Bewley and Kurtz have fired themselves to the front. Here comes Sayfutinov on the inside. Doyle trying to get around the outside. They chop to the inside. Kurtz, he's wide. What a move from Sayfutinov. Sayfutinov now looking for Kurtz to come back at him. Read it beautifully, Emil Sayfutinov. How about that? Kurtz is at the back. Doyle there. Bewley's away. Emil Sayfutinov into second place.
Emil in second at the moment. Kurtz now dives up the inside of Emil. He cuts him off coming out of turn 3. Emil cuts back again. Emil's now in front. He dives up the inside of Kurtz. Kurtz is looking to cut back. Emil looks like he's got second. He's got that secure now. And now Doyle looking up the inside as well. What a race.
What a race it is. Bewley's out in front. He's missed all the fireworks behind him. Stunning speedway between Sayfutinov and Brady Kurtz for second and third. It's a heat advantage for the Belle Vue Aces. But by golly, that was some speedway race. World-class performances out in heat number 13. The lead is now 2. The lead is now 2 because the Belle Vue Aces did get a heat advantage. Bewley got away, but the battle between Kurtz and Sayfutinov, well, you'd have to go a long, long way to see a better dust up between 2 top-class riders. That really was very impressive indeed. Bewley with a stunning ride, and Brady Kurtz and Sayfutinov. Sayfutinov needs to be in the Grand Prix. Wow, Bewley 3 points out in front. Emil Sayfutinov with a lovely ride coming through into second place, 2 points. 1 point for Brady Kurtz in third, and Jason Doyle misses out in a stunning heat number 13. 2 points between the 2 rides with 2 races to go. Let's have another look.
Watch Jason Doyle in the white helmet on the inside. He lifts all the way to the first corner. He's going to head. He wants to head out to the outside and stop Bewley's run. Bewley reads it. He cuts back, goes underneath him. Bewley now is untroubled. He hits the front and clears off. The big battle here is between Emil in yellow and Kurtz in red. Emil up the inside. Kurtz cuts back, dives back up the inside of Emil. Emil sees it coming, turns back again. Emil's now in second place. Here we see again this battle between Kurtz and Emil. Kurtz dives up the inside of Sayfutinov. Emil sees him coming, turns back, really clever ride, closes him off again. Excellent race from 2 of the world's best riders at this moment in time.
Special Speedway in heat number 13. It was a heat advantage to the Belle Vue team, so they have closed in again. It's getting awfully tight between the 2 teams with 2 races to go. Looking like it could very well go to a last heat decider. Massive respect between the 2 top superstars, Bewley and Emil Sayfutunov, putting on another wonderful demonstration of top-class speedway in heat number 13. Heat 14, we'll see a change to the reserve here for the Ipswich switches. Jason Edwards has been taken out and Dan Thompson has been brought in. By my maths, which is not very good normally, but I would say a 5-1 here to the Ipswich switches, and they will just about tie it up, actually. They will then move on to 45 points, 39. Yeah, they will win if they get a 5-1 here, but it won't be easy because Zach Cook is having a great night, and you would suggest that he will have something to say about it. Right, here we go. Who's taking his time? It's Tate Ziske, just coming out a little later than the other three. He'll turn left instead of going the whole way around the track. Zach Cook's had a good night. He's out here. He's on gate number 3. And Tom Brennan. This could be another really entertaining race for sure. 40 points to the Ipswich switches. So the line-up heat number 14 is Tate Ziske off the inside in the blue helmet colour. Tom Brennan, gate number 2 in white. Zach Cook with a warning, goes from gate 3 in red. And Dan Thompson, he has replaced his teammate Jason Edwards here. It's a reserve replacement. And Dan Thompson coming in for Jason Edwards. Tom Brennan, big responsibility for him in heat 14. With the slender lead of only 2 points. 3 all would be handy, but a 5-1, if they could manage a 5-1, it would be a fantastic victory for the Ipswich switches. What a night we've had. Not much longer to go. Riders just taking their time with under 15 seconds to go before you need to be at tapes. Brennan and Cook have been impressive this evening, but particularly Cook. Cook seems to have found a lot of speed here tonight. Here we go then. Heat 14. Gates are up. Brennan's made a lovely start. He gets there. Thompson's also made a decent effort from the outside. Cook's got that covered, but Brennan gets to the front down the back straight on the opening lap. Cook just not quite sure where to head. Brennan's gone wide. Cook's in the middle of the track. Thompson coming after him up into 3rd place. A heat advantage at this stage. And tell you what, Dan Thompson's riding well. Oh, tight down the back straight.
Yeah, great start from Tom Brennan. He's got out in front. He's elected to use that high, wide line on the outside. We know Cook's quick round the inside. But at the moment, Dan Thompson's keeping him honest in 2nd place. An excellent ride from Tom Brennan and just what the Ipswich witches needed.
It is indeed. It's not going to quite be. My goodness gracious me. It frightened me. Let alone Tom Brennan. Ben Brennan just a little bit out of shade. Less than a lap to go. Cook hanging tough in 2nd place. Brennan's ridden well here. Very well indeed. Right out wide. Here we go. Here we go to the line. Oh, Cook's done him. Cook's done him. What a comeback. Cook did it earlier on to Jason Doyle. He's done it again. Brennan out by the fence. In the dirt, but Zach Cook with a stunning final turn steals the win away. And what heat 14, crowd on their feet. Cook he was just sort of sitting there, wasn't doing anything particularly special, and quite fast, of course. He was going quite fast, but he elected to try that inside line round the final corner and steals the victory away from Tom Brennan. Stunning ride from Zach Cook. 3 points for him. Tom Brennan back in 2nd place, 2 points. Dan Thompson in 3rd, who was very much on the place. 1 point for him, and Tate Ziske misses out. We've got a last heat decider. 2 points between the two teams. 43 points to 41. Another smashing race here tonight in Manchester.
Yeah, great start from Tom Brennan in the white helmet colour. He makes the start from gate 2. He controls the race from there on. Looks he's using that outside line, and he looked comfortable for most of the race. Zach Cook here in 2nd place is under a little bit of pressure from Dan Thompson for a lap or so, but then once he shakes him off, he sets his eyes on Tom Brennan. I don't know, Brennan made a mistake on turns 3 and 4 on lap 3, whether that made him a little bit more cautious going into the last bend. I don't know. Here we see Tom Brennan going into the last lap. I think he's out on that outside. Just the last lap. It is. He goes wide. You can see the bike loses traction. He hasn't gone wide enough. He's not gone wide enough to pick up that dirt. Zach Cook's crept round the inside. Great ride by Zach Cook.
Fantastic ride from Zach Cook. All sorts of scenarios for heat number 15. Abby, what a night we're enjoying.
What a night, and this man behind me has been absolutely tremendous. He's had 3 heat wins, and we've only got 2 points separating these two sides, and we are going down to a last heat decider. And Calvin, you're going to love this. He was your man to watch. Bellips is the hashtag. All your thoughts, questions, insights, whatever, put it on that hashtag. We've got 1 heat remaining. It's a big heat 15. Join us after this.
Leicester lead by 8 points heading into Heat 8 at the Adrian Fox Arena. Max Frick taking the rider replacement ride in white and making a flying start, and Joe Thompson in yellow going with him. Niels Christian Iverson in red trying to make it around the outside into second place. Gets round Thompson into the third bend. Thompson fighting back at him though. Iverson now going into second spot, but whilst he was doing that, Max Frick was clearing off out in front, and Leicester have been making increasingly rapid starts as this meeting has been going on, and that's enabling them to take control of the action with Max Frick out in front. Such a strong man to have in Heat 8 when they're operating at rider replacement as they've done for much of the summer with Luke Becker out injured. Well, Frick race lead. They did use guests in the Knockout Cup final. Tom Brennan stepped into very good effect there, both home and away, but Frick here in Heat 8 well in charge. Everson has been the bright spark for the Stars so far. About to drop his first point of the meeting in second place, but Joe Thompson hanging on for third here over Luke Harrison. Battle on for third place into the third and fourth bend, with Thompson riding mid-track and Harrison trying to turn back on him. They are very close indeed actually, but Joe Thompson is there with the third place and a 4-2 to the Leicester Lions. Max Frick a clear winner, and they move 10 points in front, 29 points to 19, and Max Frick there with the victory in Heat 8 for the Lions, backed up by third place for Joe Thompson. On we go to Heat 9, and it's Sam Masters in white making the start there above Lawson into the first bend, and round the outside in yellow comes Drew Kemp and Leicester on 1 and 2 again here in Heat 9 as Kemp gets round the outside. And now what can Chris Harris and Richard Lawson do about it for the Kings Lynn Stars? Well, Lawson in blue they're going through on the inside of Kemp into second place, but Masters has got himself clear in front. It's Lawson in second place and Kemp in third over Harris, who ran a last place in his previous ride, and now he's left chasing Drew Kemp. Leicester are taking charge of this meeting, 10 points in front heading into the race. This will make it 12 with the 4-2 here, and they have the aggregate point in their hands too. Leicester not far off confirming a place in the playoffs the way things are if they grab another away win, and this would be a huge blow for Kings Lynn, who really had to go perfect in their final eight matches if they were to have any chance at all. But Leicester in charge, and Sam Masters in charge here of Heat 9 over Lawson, who's buzzing away behind him, trying different lines, trying inside outside, but can't make the turn back he wants there. Sam Masters over Richard Lawson with Drew Kemp in third place and Chris Harris out the back, and Leicester take a 4-2 once again in Heat 9, and those race advantages keep on coming for the Lions, who won the Knockout Cup last week against the Kings Lynn Stars, and they look set to take all 3 league points available here from the Adrian Fox Arena tonight. With 9 heats gone, it's Kings Lynn 21, Leicester 33.
Welcome back to the National Speedway Stadium. We've enjoyed a cracking night of Speedway. We've still got 1 heat to go. Just 2 points separating the two teams, 41-43. Scotty, this is super exciting.
It's really exciting, and you've got the team managers, so it's a great night so far. We've got one here. Mark Lemon's obviously a little bit off the ball tonight, but he needs to be on the ball for this Heat 15, that's for sure. So, Richie, we're going to talk to you first. Obviously, the other team manager's not here, but got to be delighted with the way the Witches have performed tonight. It's an exceptionally tough place to come to.
Yeah, and we've always found it hard. So yeah, I'm really happy. Especially recent performances haven't been that great, but I thought yeah, tonight we've done really well.
It is, and obviously the playoffs and then potentially the final are coming up. So if you are against these boys, tonight could prove pivotal.
Yeah, it definitely gives us a lot of confidence. We're learning a lot as well tonight, and I think we're getting a bit more right than normal. And yeah,
not like Kelvin kept calling you Kevin earlier.
I did hear, but yeah, I'm used to that. But yeah, if we can, like in a playoff or two-legged, if we could keep it this sort of score, then we're looking good with our sort of home form as well.
Definitely, because the teams are showing exceptionally strong home form. You do have gate choice. It is a last seat decider. Can you tell us who you're going to go with and what gates, please?
We took 2 and 4, and Emil's going to go off 2, and Jason will go 4.
Okay, mate, thank you very much. Best luck to you, boys. Mark, possibly a bit shell-shocked early on.
Yeah, to say the least, it's been a really brutal night for us. You know, Ipswich have come on, you know, a ton and you know, hit us hard, and it's taken a fair bit to sort of you know, etch into their lead. But
can you put that down to anything?
Yeah, I think probably we were caught out probably with track conditions, probably thinking it's grippier than it was, and yeah, just put us on the back foot. Gates probably, you know, went in favour of Ipswich early on, but sort of favoured out a little bit towards the end. But no, you know, Ipswich are a good team. You know, they start off the season really strong, and they're very competitive and got some riders in good form. So we obviously missed Jamin tonight. You know, I think we only picked up you know, 5 points from Jamin's rides, which, you know, Jamin's good for, you know, double figures. So you put that into the equation, it, you know, certainly flips quite quickly. But
and you've got to take a positive when it's not gone to plan. Things like that definitely kind of can boost the team when you look on reflection.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, you know, we'll dissect this afterwards, but right now we've got a big 15 to sort of go and probably hopefully put the meeting to bed and get a result. But yeah, we're definitely, you know, looking forwards to the playoffs. There's no doubt about that, and obviously we're going to have a you know, a bit of a rethink after this one.
Well, I think we know who you're going to put out, but if you could just tell us what gate positions, please.
Yeah, sure. I've gone with Brady Kurtz in red in gate 1 and Dan Billy blue in gate 3.
Okay, mate, thanks, Mark. Well, before we get to that exciting Heat 15, I'm moving out of the way because last time a handshake happened, I got my teeth taken out. We're going to go to David Rowe at King's Lynn for an update.
Well, it looks like this meeting is heading for an away win for the in-form Leicester Lions, who have been making very fast starts during the mid-part of the meeting in particular. Heat 8, Max Frick in the rider replacement role, having the advantage he's done so many times in Heat 8 as rider replacement for Luke Becker. Battled for second place with Niels Christian Iversen passing Joe Thompson, who has scored plenty of important points for Leicester in this meeting, and the 4-2 in Heat 8, enough for the Lions to go 10 points in front, and they extended further in Heat 9 as well, because once again fast Sam Masters and Drew Kemp getting out in front of both Chris Harris and Richard Lawson. Lawson did come through for second place over Kemp on the top turn, but Leicester, every race they're getting both their riders out in front, and the in-form Lions are surely set for another 3 points on the road in this meeting, making further progress towards the top of the Premiership table and not far off confirming a playoff place. We have 9 heats completed here. It's King's Lynn 21, Leicester 33.
Dave, thank you. Look at this lineup. It doesn't get better than this for the best riders in the world going wheel to wheel. Let's hope that it's as competitive as Heat 13 was. FA Cup Community Shield, we're not far away from the return of the football season, which will be bigger and better than ever before on TNT Sports. Don't miss the traditional curtain raiser as Premier League champions Liverpool face FA Cup holders Crystal Palace in the FA Community Shield. It's live on Sunday from 2 p.m. on TNT Sports 1 and Discovery Plus, but you do not want to miss their next few laps around this National Speedway Stadium. Look at that lineup, Cal. What can you say? Breathtaking.
Mouth-watering prospect for heat number 15, Abby, there's no question about that. The scenarios are it's a 3-all, the victory will go to the Witches. A 4-2, we're going to get a super heat. It'll be all square, and we'll have to do it all again. And a 5-1 to the Belle Vue Aces, and they will steal the victory against the Ipswich Witches here tonight. Here's the lineup for heat number 15. Kurtz is on the inside in the red helmet colour. Emil Seifutin off gate number 2 in white. Dan Bewley will come out of gate 3 in blue, and Jason Doyle will start from the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. We do hope that you've enjoyed the evening. It has been wonderfully exciting. Ollie, my good friend alongside me, does have to consider the cabin master rider of the night. So just put your thinking cap on, sir.
I will do.
So not easy tonight, but I know where my money might be going.
It wouldn't be your selection for one to watch, would it?
Might be one from the home team.
Okay.
Anyway, heat number 15. What a conclusion to a wonderful night of Premiership Speedway. The National Speedway Stadium has done us proud once again. Mark Lemon says he'd love to put this meeting to bed. Not going to be easy when you've got the quality of Doyle and Saifutinov out there. But Kurtz and Bewley are genuinely world-class riders. They're rock solid. The crowd are on their edge of their seats. Here we go. Heat number 15. Revs are up, tapes are up, away we go. Saifutinov made a lovely start out of gate 2. He gets to the first turn. Doyle is coming round the outside. Can he get the better of Bewley? Not quite. But then also Saifutinov has roared to the front. Bewley's coming round the outside like a steam train. What a move from him. Emil Saifutinov has to now close off the move from Brady Kurtz. Here comes Doyle. Doyle absolutely on the ragged edge. Clouds the fence down the straight. Bewley top class again.
What a first lap from Dan Bewley round the outside of everyone to take the lead. He's now stretching his lead in front. Big battle at the back. Doyle dives up the inside of Kurtz. Kurtz is eating shale from Emil in front of him. Bewley looking good in front. Belle Vue on a 4-2 at the moment, which will take the match to a superheat.
Indeed it will. Dan Bewley really has turned on the start here. Does look like they're going to be all square when we come to the conclusion here of a stunning heat number 15. Bewley wins here in heat 15. Great ride from Saifutinov to hang on to second place. Doyle did everything he could. Kurtz back in third place. It's all square. It's all square. 45 points apiece between the two top teams in the league. And we've got a superheat here in the National Speedway Stadium tonight. And do you know what? I fancy we're just going to see these 4 riders for the third time.
I agree.
Crowd are on their feet. Stunning performance from Bewley to win that race. Great start initially from Emil Saifutinov, but Bewley was just outstanding, and he's just going to take his time before he goes back to the pits. 3 points for Dan Bewley, he wins heat 15. Saifutinov back in second place, 2 points. Brady Kurtz in third, 1 point for him, and Jason Doyle, as hard as he tried, just could not quite get amongst the points in heat number 15. Here comes Dan, celebrating on the back wheel with a stunning wheelie. Why not indeed? But I don't know if he really appreciates that he's got to do it all again. Let's watch it all again anyway.
Watch Dan Bewley here in the blue helmet colour. He just about stops the runner Jason Doyle. He's in third place at the moment. He's really wide on the outside. He goes so deep into turn 3 and 4 and gets round the outside of Emil. What a fantastic first lap from Dan Bewley. You can see he's riding so much wider than the other 3 riders and looks so comfortable out there. Excellent ride from him. Then you see, if you watch Jason Doyle at the back, he has a nibble up the inside of Kurtz. He's putting him under pressure. The race isn't over yet. Doyle has another go here. You see Doyle on the inside. He tries to move across the corner. And Kurtz hits the fence on the back straight, trying to get as much drive as he can off the outside of the straight. But what a ride from Bewley, round everyone. You see him saluting the crowd as he goes past. I don't think he knew he had a superheat.
No, he does. He's just been told by Phil Morris he's got to do it all again. So just having to sprint back into the pit box to get the bike ready for the superheat. 45 points apiece. Not over yet, people. And let's get some more reaction with Abby in the pits.
Yeah, it certainly isn't over yet. Yeah, Dan Bewley has just sprinted back into the pits. It's so amazing for Speedway that we are down to a superheat. Belle Vue have just fought back so hard, but even better, I imagine we're going to see these 4 riders back out around this amazing track. Lemo in discussion with Dan. He was in discussion with Brady Kurtz as they came into the pits as well. Stay with us. It's our first superheat of the season here on TNT Sports.
Heat 10 at the Adrian Fox Arena, with Leicester leading by 33 points to 21, and once again a Leicester rider making the start. Ryan Douglas in white sweeping around the outside of Niels Christian-Eversen, and Kyle Howarth in yellow squeezing out Jankovic on the back straight, and Leicester looking very, very impressive indeed here in Norfolk. Battle on for third, Jankovic trying to make it back round the outside of Kyle Howarth, but Kvek's not having his best night by a long, long way. Can't get round the outside there as Howarth maintains the third place, and Ryan Douglas is in outstanding form so far this evening. He's yet to be beaten as he stretches himself clear of Niels Christian-Eversen, who has been the best Kings Lynn rider so far, but whilst it was close in the opening 4 or 5 heats here, Leicester have really stretched it as things have gone on, and Douglas looking ultra impressive out in front, with Eversen in second place and with Howarth in third. And the question will have to be asked, well, who really does want to face Leicester in the playoffs? Because just like last year, they are finding form at just the right time. The question is, can they maintain the form throughout August and into September, when the main title will be handed out? Ryan Douglas there taking heat 10 ahead of Niels Christian-Eversen for a 4-2 to make it 37-23, and in heat 11 Leicester out in front again. Max Frick in white with the advantage. His teammate Sam Masters going around the outside. Tobias Thompson in third place is doing the chasing with Nikolai Clint out the back, and it has to be said, Kings Lynn have absolutely no answer to Leicester at this stage of the meeting. Clint pulling out on the top turn, not going to finish this race, and Frick will sit in there with Sam Masters in second place. So you think back to last year when Leicester charged all the way up the Premiership table from 5th to 4th to 3rd to 2nd and nearly to top until the final week of the campaign. Then they took out Ipswich in that dramatic semi-final with all the controversy along the way, but lost out in the grand final to Belle Vue. Well, can this Leicester team go all the way this season whilst all the excitement's taking place in Manchester with Belle Vue and Ipswich? Leicester are clocking up points match after match and winning away matches as well, and they're doing this one very, very impressively indeed, as Sam Masters and Max Frick coming round that top turn over Tobias Thompson for a 5-1 to put them 18 points in front after 11 races. 5-1 Sam Masters and Max Frick there, and in heat number 12 again, flying start, Drew Kemp off the inside. Controversy on that first turn with Lawson going down. Referee ruling all 4 back there for that bit of contact. Lawson up and okay. So the restart then took place, and again it was Leicester in front for a 5-1. Ryan Douglas and Drew Kemp holding back Lawson for another 5-1. They're in complete control. They've got the match and aggregate point very much in the bag here, with 12 heats gone. Kings Lynn 25, Leicester 47.
Welcome back to the National Speedway Stadium. We've had an absolute cracking Speedway meeting, and we are down to a superheat, the first of the season here on TNT. Mark, you've got to be so happy with your boys because they have fought back so hard.
Yeah, the second after meeting, obviously the momentum's in our favour, and hopefully we can keep it going for one more race. But credit to Ipswich. Obviously you don't want to be using tacticals at home and being 14 points down. But we're here now. We've got a superheat. It's pretty exciting for the fans, I suppose. Not for us, but
it's exciting for all Speedway fans, whether you're Belle Vue Aces fans, Ipswich Witches fans, or just the neutral. How is it for a team manager?
I'm good. Like, for us, that's a good result either way, really, tonight. So we're happy.
And we're going to see the 4 potentially riders. We're going to see the 4 riders that we've seen so far tonight in 13 and 15.
Yeah, we're going the same again, and we'll see if we can just improve a little bit on heat 15.
Good luck to both of you. And they're not giving much away. Let's go to Kings Lynn and get the latest from Dave Rowe.
Well, whilst you have superheat drama at the National Speedway Stadium, the Leicester Lions are clocking up more points on the road. Their run of form continues. They're taking all 3 points here at the Adrian Fox Arena, and they have really cut loose in the second half of the meeting with a fast skating performance that's seen them take 5-1 after 5-1. This the latest involving Ryan Douglas and Drew Kemp in heat 12 over Richard Lawson taking a tactical sub ride, and Chris Harris out the back. And Leicester are going to get an emphatic away victory here, and they are a side to watch out for when it comes to playoff time. That's a 5-1 from Douglas and Kemp. There have been several as the meeting has gone on. They've got the points in the bag here, match and aggregate points. Leicester on the charge once again. It's Kings Lynn 25, Leicester 47.
Dave, thank you. Well, here we have it. 4 of the best riders in the world about to compete in a superheat around arguably one of the best tracks in the world. Calvin and Ollie, over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Abby. This is the 3rd time in 4 races this evening that we are seeing this quartet. What a treat. What a treat for all of us. Point scoring is different in a superheat. You get 4 points for a win, 3 for second, 2 for third, and nothing for coming fourth. So effectively, if you finish second and third with your teammate, that will beat a win. So we will be guaranteed a result for the evening at the conclusion of the next 4 laps. Superheat time here on TNT tonight in the National Speedway Stadium. As Abby rightly said, it's our first one of 2025. And what a place to have it, and what a lineup it is. Superheat time. Bewley's on the inside this time. He's got the red helmet colour. Gate number 2 is Emil Saifutinov. Gate 3 in blue is Brady Kurtz. Jason Doyle will go once again from the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour. Richie Hawkins says it's a victory either way. They've done well. Have to agree, but when you get this close, you'd love to win. And it would be history for the Witches if they win here tonight in the league.
Yeah, it'd be their first ever win here, and also it's a huge confidence booster for the playoffs as well. So they'll be keen to win.
They will indeed. Got to say, Jason Doyle possibly has got the short straw on the outside late on here. Had it in heat 15, found it difficult to get amongst the points. There must have been a chat between Richie and the boys, of course, but they've gone with the same pairing in the same gates. Bewley and Kurtz have switched round. Bewley and Kurtz, what's going to happen? But just under 15 seconds to go for riders to get up to tapes, ready to go. Chris Gay, our referee this evening, he's keeping a close eye on that. Here we go then, superheat time here in Manchester. Revs are up, tapes are up, away we go. Saifudinov's got there, or has he? He elects to go very wide, Bewley's gone very tight. Here they go down the back straight. Right now, Ipswich are in the driving seat. They are in second and third. That's 5 points to Bewley out in front on 4. Bewley's away. Now the pressure's on Brady Kurtz. Kurtz has got to find his way past Jason Doyle.
What a first lap from down here. Great start. And look how wide he's riding. Almost long tracking it around the corners. And now Kurtz looking up the inside of Jason Doyle. This is the big battle. If you finish last, your team loses. It's as simple as that.
Indeed it is. Bewley's away. 4 points are in the bag for him. It's all about third and 4. Doyle and Kurtz with a lap to go. Kurtz now running to the outside. Doyle is under huge pressure. Kurtz is coming at him like a steam train. There's one last chance for Kurtz now as they dive bomb into the turn in 3 and 4. But Ipswich put it off. What a conclusion. Bewley's been outstanding in 15 and the superheat. The Ipswich Witches pick up the points in the superheat. And it's 4 to Bewley. But Saifutinov back in second, Doyle in third, that's 5. And they win the night. Kurtz will be disappointed. Out of the points in the last race of the evening. Saifutinov rock solid in second place. At 5 points to 4. And the Ipswich Witches create history tonight by winning in the National Speedway Stadium for the first time in their history. What an honor Speedway, and what a thrilling conclusion it was.
Yeah, indeed.
How about that?
Wow, what a meeting.
That's league racing at its very best.
Top draw league racing, that is, Kelvin.
It is
straight
top
out
draw.
of the top draw.
It's straight out of the top draw. Saifutinov rock solid. Bewley outstanding in heats 15.
Yeah.
And the superheat, incredible performance. And when you consider Bewley thought it was all over.
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly
he was looking forward to a shower.
He was.
Yeah.
He was indeed. Bewley, so that's stunning. He picks up the 4 points, but Saifutinov and Doyle in second and third, they pick up 5. And as a consequence, win the night and pick up the points, and Brady Kurtz misses out in the superheat here this evening. Stunning race, stunning conclusion, and We'll watch it all again. Heat number 16.
Yeah, Dan Bewley in the red helmet makes a good start from 1. He goes tight round the first bend. Good bit of home track knowledge there. Emil heads wide. He heads to the outside to try and build his speed up. Bewley does one corner round the curb, and if you look at him there, he's out on the outside. He looked like Kelvin Tatum on a long track bike a few years ago. He did. Just bike lent over, barely sliding, loads of traction, really fast. And here's the big battle at the back. Kurtz and Doyle. Kurtz is putting Doyle under immense pressure. Doyle knows he's there. Doyle just keeps the bike tight, tries to block his every move. Kurtz goes for one big effort round the outside, but in reality here at Belle Vue, you need more than one corner on the outside. You need to build your speed up, and he just didn't have the time to do it. Has one last look up the inside on the last bend, but he's too experienced for that. He knew he was there and stopped his run.
Richie Hawkins delighted with his team's performance. What a way to finish off the night here tonight in Manchester. Stunning Speedway. Ipswich win for the first time here in the league. What a night, and what an advert for the Premiership Speedway. Sensational. Abby, it's down to you.
Yeah, an absolute advert for Speedway. I can say as well, we have a TV monitor in the pits, and you had all the Ipswich riders and Belle Vue riders, everyone on their feet, everyone howling and jumping, breathtaking right until the very end. And behind me just a moment ago, you'll be happy, Kelv, your teammate in crying, Chris Louis, was also very, very happy. History making for them tonight to take the win here at the National Speedway Stadium. Scotty, Cabin Master Rider of the Night, who are you with?
Yeah, thanks, Ab. I'm with Zach Cook. He's the Cabin Master Rider of the Night. And on a night like tonight, it was hard to pick a rider. There were so many good rides. But, Zach, you have got the award. Phil Morrissey is going to give you a Cabin Master Rider of the Night award, mate. A superb night's racing, full stop. Obviously, for you boys, you didn't quite get the win. You managed to get back in the game, though, after being heavily down, and a fantastic night for yourself, though.
Yeah, definitely. We had probably one of the slower starts that we've had all season here. I think, a few of the boys sort of got caught out with the track a bit, thinking we thought it was going to be a bit gripper than what it was with all the rain they had today. So, yeah, it took a bit to get going, but I think, everyone, dug deep for the whole meeting, and, I think we done well to get it back to where we did, but, they just got us on the night.
You did, and there's home track advantage and knowledge, and I guess some people at home might be kind of going, well, surely you know the track, you would be able to predict if it's grippier than slicker than normal, but just go to show how unpredictable Speedway is. Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing, you don't know until you get out there. You can think one thing, and your first lap you soon find out. But I was lucky. I had pretty good speed all night tonight, just sort of wasn't making the best start, so I was having a little bit of chasing, but I was happy with my performance.
And I think that's where home track knowledge certainly came. I think that's what got you boys back in the game. That last bend, last ditch to sneak round the inside Tom Brennan must have been delight for you, but I know if I was Tom, I'd have been fuming.
Yeah, it was that was the thing, like how the track was, you can get caught out with going for the dirt and then it not being there. So, I just thought I'd cut back and then just get my wheels in line, and it was just enough. But that was the thing, you sort of, it was all about racing lines tonight.
It certainly was. Well done, mate. Sneaky, probably got you the rider tonight. Well done, mate. Abby, back to you.
Scotty, thank you. Still just taking a breath here. What excitement, what drama around the National Speedway Stadium. Right, big breath. Tomorrow, don't miss stage 2 of the Tour of Poland, where the peloton race rough terrain and challenging climbs. That's live from 11:30. There's more cycling to look forward to on Wednesday, with the Tour de l'Ain curtain raiser kicking off from 3:30. Plus, there's world-class cricket on Thursday, where the second test between Zimbabwe and New Zealand and British Speedway. We return next week. It'll be Sheffield versus Belle Vue, and we'll be at Overton. Scotty, over to you.
Thanks. We were just actually having a chat about last ride. Jason was saying how difficult this how difficult this place is to ride and how vulnerable you can be in. And we were just chatting in that superheat where Brady was all over you. You've read it well, but it's so difficult to make the right choices.
Yeah, it's when you're out in front, you got fresh air, Scotty. It's easy, but when you're chasing and trying to keep the speed up around this track, it's, as you can see, the racing's so close. When you get against, I guess, the best rider in the world at the moment, BK, and also Dan is flying as well, so it's always going to be tough.
But he's tough, and in those moments, kind of what's going through your mind when you can hear kind of Brady's buzz around you? Sometimes you can see the shadows, but what's the thought process?
Don't let the young kangaroo win, mate. No, I'm the old duck, and I got to show these young boys that I can still do it. But no, when you got him buzzing around the back of you, you know he's going to be sending it on the fence or coming up the inside. And these boys are amazing around here, and we just got to up our game.
Well, you dug in, mate. You got the win in the end. So well done, mate. Thank you very much.
I'm going to join you, but I love that. Don't let the young kangaroo win. That's a mantra.
I win the old bit, but I'm not a kangaroo.
Doyley, thank you so much. It's been a brilliant night of Speedway. Scotty, what do we say? We've got hardly any time before we're off air.
Literally out of Cal's top drawer. Phenomenal.
It's just absolutely phenomenal. I hope you've enjoyed it, witches, and all you fans, congratulations for making history here at the National Speedway Stadium. Next week, we'll be in Sheffield, and it'll be Sheffield versus Belle Vue. See you then.